Oh, man. Was it ready? Was it ready? In there. I wasn't ready. Legendarian motherfucker. I just be shopping and shit, drinking and shit, do a little smoking and shit. I stopped playing games and I mastered the art.
For what he has, he says the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
Yes, he destroyed boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroyed black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Cool enough just being cool. I am. Chilling. It's cool enough just being cool. Like I am. Chilling.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
You're a philosopher? You're a philosopher?
Yes.
Damn white boys. Most of them psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mom and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
You have to stop and think. What does that mean to me? To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the middle. To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the center. Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I had one and only Galactic Daddy welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. And that must be my motherfucking cue. And tonight's beer, as in most lucky nights, is Great Lakes Ellie Nest. So definitely pop them if you got them. And again, I have what you do not have. Collector's Applebee's Edition Detroit Lions logo glasses that was acquired by me in 2015. So as you look at me having what you do not have Elliot Ness, nor do you have this beautiful Ale Ambrosia I'm pouring. And it makes you just think that you wish that you were me right now. You really wish you were me right now, sitting here on Big Eagle Mountain, Big Eagle Hill, drinking the Detroit Lions monogram, 50s monogram glass from Applebee's. Let's get this stuff out the way. It's so much stuff. All right. And again, we are smoking on the unicorn hookah. The barbershop, candy shop needs to be cleaned. But let's see what it's hitting on. Mm. What do they say? Give me some more of that. Well, that woke me up. So where are the party people? Who are the party people tonight? Who are the party people? Who's all about a real good time? J.R. Smooth. What's happening?
To have vision.
P.A. Allen, there's only one question I got to ask you.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
Dr. Sinister, one question I got to ask you.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
Jamar.
Have vision.
Up, special for the man down in the man down in the sip, Lorenzo. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for joining me. I think there's one thing we need to look up. Let's see. It might be right here. Nope. The one thing they kind of talking about today. Oh. See. All right. Let's see. It might be right here. Let's see if we can bring this up. I don't play any stuff. Let's see if this gives me it though. Okay. I think this is it. First thing I want to get into is this. I want to get into this. So let's put it up. All right. Josh Harris Group, which has Johnson as part of it. Remember, also owns part of a small part of the Dodgers. So Daniel Snyder era is over. Snyder and billionaire Josh Harris announced a joint news release Friday that they have reached a deal involving the sale and purchase of the Washington Commanders, publicly formalizing an agreement that was completed last month. They did not disclose the financial term. A person familiar with told USA that it's about $6.5 billion, which is a record, the largest price to date for a purchase of a North American franchise. That's a record because I think they only spent $1 to $2 billion because they were not authorized to say yada 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 from NFL. So on behalf of the ownership group, including Mitch Ray, my longtime business partner David Blitz, and Magic Johnson, I want to express how excited we are considered to be the owners of the next Washington Commanders. And this is what I think is bogus about this. He got to take the name away. Which most nominated people did not have a problem with, but he had to come to, because they pushed him out. But I mean, he got paid well for being pushed out. He got pushed out. But they have to stick to this name. They have to stick to this name, stick to that logo. I think it's bogus. I would ask if I could change it, that he got to put the name. But that's the team that wanted that name. DC and Commander. See, they didn't like that DC was represented by copper-colored face. The next owners, Commanders, now committed to delivering a championship caliber franchise. We'll see. Growing up in Chevy Chase, Maryland, I experienced firsthand excitement around two, including 3 Super Bowl victories and a long-time winning culture. Look forward to the formal approval. Now remember, he still needs the votes, and I think it was 24 votes. Let's see. Tentative deal has been placed for 7 weeks. The Naismith signifies the two sides that formalized the agreement. I know smell smoke. Wrote an email. Draft ownership franchises statement. Expected the owner will meet May 22nd. So next week, roughly, week after. Pleased to reach an agreement with the Commanders franchise. Blah blah. This marks the end of the 24 run as majority owner. 24 years. Wow. Nev, he purchased it. Okay, look at this. He purchased this for $800 million, and he's going to make almost 6.66. It'll be like 5.8 billion in profit. He purchased it for $800 million, and selling it for 6.5. Look, what wasn't that 6.5? What was that number? 6.5. 6.5. So you take away. So he's going to make $5.7 billion profit from selling this. Wow. Wow. And that's right on right there. 5 billion, almost 6 billion profit. Let's see. Natives now purchased Commanders in 99. Clark was wonderful. He took control of the franchise. He bought everybody out. This is a smart man. He took full control in 21. 2 years ago. He bought everybody out. And now he made that by himself. Wow. Again, 24 is all tied up because it was the Redskins. Again, 24 again. In 24 seasons, he won 40% of the games. See, it's just nigga all over this. 10 head coaches. I don't think he hired any others. If I'm wrong, maybe Renzo, if you remember one. Report recent allegations, uncovered allegation harassment. See, they were pushed him out. That bullying, intimidation, they pushed him out. They pushed him out. Meanwhile, Mary Jo is looking at allegations by blah, blah, who cares about her? The way also not even ditching his own team. Longo criticizes his pledge. Never occurred. Use caps. Football club before being introduced to Commanders. Again, he needs to name the team. Remember, Harris also owns the 76ers and he owns the New Jersey Devils. So, Harris ownership grew more than double limited partner, including Ray's, local businessman, and Johnson. Could not be more excited. New proposed ownership group for the Commanders. Johnson wrote on Twitter on the announcement of the sale. Josh Harris has assembled an amazing group. Their commitment not only doing great things on the field, making a real impact in the DMV community. The sale price 6.5, 4.5 million more than Forbes valuation of the franchise. Because this is all almost right here. This is what they're saying. This is what they thought, but this is what we got. Remember the Walmart people bought the Denver team for 4.6, which was a record. This for Snyder, it represents a 300% return on his initial investment when adjusted for inflation. So, it's interesting how they keeping that. Besides, that was interesting. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Yeah. So, whoops. Where is everything? Okay, I dig it. I can dig it. So, uh, he got Donald Sterling. I agree. Hey, James Lucifer Woolen Branch, also known as Red Wolf. And yeah, you read about that too. Yeah, and I've been reading about it lately, and so that's what I was starting with. I did not. Let's see. It is not. It is not up here. Magic giving the son the world and then pushing them agendas and reap major benefits. Yeah, I mean that's look at Dwayne Wade. Or as this one dude couldn't say Dwayne, so he told him Wade, big fat Rozier. You go Wade. And Rozier was one of the dudes that did like deodorant, but he couldn't say Dwayne Wade, so he'd go Wade. Why would it be like Wade? I'm just having fun tonight, y'all. Yeah. I want to talk about this. Tonight, though, I'm going to remind everybody, look into what behavior surplus is. As you search your phone, you search things, and you use the computer searches, understand that they're making money and they're evaluating you. Now, remember, right now, I want to give you things to stick in your car. They can evaluate when you drive. But it's not just about where you drive, it's where you're going. So that, again, you can be sold to, or they can place something in front of you that you're more than likely to buy. So that's kind of how it is. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of surveillance capitalism. And the main way they enforce it is, again, it's behavior surplus. And this is what we should be paid for. Every time Cookies wants to look at what we going after, they really should pay us. Because this is the new way they make money. They make money off us scrolling and searching. Oops. Make money off of these things. I heard, oh goodness, okay. I opened my mind up to a lot of people. What is this nigga's name? I opened my mind up to a lot of people. Let me see if I can find, let's see. Am I connected? Yeah, connect. All right, I'm not sure. Might have been better. Oh man, it's gonna be a pretty search, so I don't know where I can find it. Oh, I want to put the name out there though, and I say but he said one of the most ignorant shit. Oh, shoulda. Oh, shoulda. I could put on here what this nigga said. Shoulda did that. You know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna go back and listen. And when I come on tomorrow, I am going to bring. But I want you to hear what he said. This is what he said. Now he said something interesting about the Civil War, and this guy's name is Archais. And the part of the show was that some of the Civil War battles weren't real. Again, when we listen to some things like that, some of what they say is real and not real. Now, what I wanted to look for, I don't really know where to find it in my pictures because I've got so many. Well, my daughter dominates most pictures, but I'm not sure where I can find. And I will never put Facebook on any phone again. So I'm gonna go through some of these pictures, see if I can find. What I said is my great grandfather, whose name was Thomas Ampey, or excuse me, George Washington Ampey, was in the Civil War. His brother Isom. Now I know I can. Let me see. I can probably let me put this. I can probably pull up my great uncle Isom's picture up. Might be a little easier to put his picture up because I know he is on Pinterest. And we've had to sue some people trying to make money on one of our family members. Now we don't own the picture. Let me see. Right here might be. All right. Yeah, I knew it was pretty easy to find. All right. All right. This is all pretty easy to find. This is a pretty fast picture. We've had some people with this because, again, people are trying to make money on this. I believe this is one of the company commanders, but again, you see the hidden hand. You see that? But this person right here, this is Lampy. The first person I've ever heard Ism. That's why, what's his name? The cartoon dude, his main character is called Ism. You know, it just makes me wonder, where did you get this name? You know, all of a sudden, you using this name to make some money. This is Isom Ampey. This is where the name comes from. Now, again, we don't own all the names, but it's just mighty funny that a melanated dude comes up with a cartoon character and he's using my ancestor's name. I'll even say this, they've darkened him here. They've darkened him. Look at his hands compared to his face. See this? They've darkened him. Now, it doesn't appear like they've darkened anybody else. For some reason, they've darkened his face. Look at his hands. His hands and his face don't mix. So they darkened his face. He's closer to my complexion than this picture. And this just shows you, so these are real. This is real. You understand? Now, a part of what you could call a slaughter, part of what he was saying was there could have been a major slaughter by the Northerners, which very well may be true. And because he was involved in the Battle of Fort Wagner. Now, let's see if that picture is in. This is one of the drummer boys for the 54th Mass. Again, you see my ancestor right here. Let's see, though. I want to see if they have a picture of the storming of Fort Wagner, because that's associated with the 54th. So let's see if we can find that. Yeah, it's right here. Now, and I'm sorry I don't have it any bigger, but picture right here. This represents my ancestor. This is Thomas P. Ampey, whose name is on his memorial. This is the storming of Fort Wagner. Now, this picture is in D.C., I think in the Senate, one of the Capitol buildings, the big giant picture. But if you look at how all the people look, you have most of the melanated soldiers looking alike, and you look at him, he distinctly looks different. This is depicted in the movie Glory. But another way to look at this, and this goes back to Narcotic or whatever his name is. Another way of looking at this was a proposed slaughter. This fort was never taken. This is what's called impenetrable. And so they slaughtered these people. Now, what did I say war about Vietnam all the time. When we at Hamburger Hill explicit, both sides agreed to slaughter for no advantage. Like they knew that they couldn't win this. Arcadic is right in where they took people to get people killed. You can say you a good try and you see what they're trying to tell you. All the artillery in the background helped them, but most of these people were killed. So it was a chance, and it makes me think this also goes into this part. This part. This also goes into what was done when Grant went into Tennessee. Now, what you have to understand is, okay, so what it appears like when Grant goes into Tennessee, Grant looks to annihilate Protestants. WASP. Exclusively. Grant exclusively goes into Tennessee to kill Protestants. And almost wipes out town after town after town of Protestants. And so if you look at it, it's almost an attack on Protestants in Tennessee and Kentucky. Or maybe Tennessee. Because I could think Kentucky was a border state. So some of this is what he's saying on the slaughter. It does kind of add up. Because again, if you look at the movie Gods and Generals, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Gettysburg makes no sense. They could have easily, the Southern Army could have easily evaded the Northerners and went more to D.C. They didn't have the high ground. I mean, there was no advantage. And the movie shows you, and again, Grant was a government plant. Grant was a Mason. Grant, see, they historically want to tell you how much everybody loved Grant. Grant was not the commander when the South started. Now, they said the Northerners offered Grant a position. And Grant declined it to be just the general of his army that he created. I think they call it the Volunteers of Virginia. The Army of Virginia, they called it. But Johnston, I believe, was the actual overall. It was two commanders before it leaked. Because like in Gods in General, it's the movie before Gods in General where they win in Fredericksburg, where they have the high ground. And they try to give that victory to Grant. But again, Lee. But again, Lee was not in charge. So you really can't give that to him because he really wasn't in charge of it. He wasn't the Southern commander. So, and I've said before, in the first Battle of Bull Run, we see melanated troops fighting the Union. And that's a fact. So part of what he says, again, some of it is real and some of it's fake, saying that these people were just led to slaughter. And we know civilians get killed in every war. And what hurt a lot of melanated people, what hurt us in America, and when I say melanated people, I'm talking about the original people in America. Not to say there are not other melanated people from everywhere else, but it's not the American melanated blood that I'm talking about. And let me back up. So again, we fought them from day one, but we know that civilians get killed in mass numbers too. And as I said, personal experience with my great, let me see, is this another great? No, well, yes, this was my great-grandma. Yes, my great-great-grandfather was what was called a foundling. He was fighting in Mississippi. He was 5 years old in the Civil War, or after the Civil War. I don't know. Probably born around 1870, I'm guessing. So sometime after the Civil War, he was born out of the Civil War. He was, found. He was a little boy without a family. Marinated little boy without a family. So, so I want to put that out there. Oh, but this what the dude said, and I'll break it down and play it tomorrow. But this is basically what the guy said. What he said was, this is what the guy said Reconstruction was. He said Reconstruction was where melanated people were given towns, okay? And he said we didn't know how to do towns. We didn't know how to do the farm. And I was thinking, there's so many towns that we know we're all, and there's still black towns that exist today, or whatever you want to call it. But he said that we didn't know how to farm. Again, we showed the European how to farm lands. They had to learn from us. And we know that there were melanated people that were major slaveholders in the South. That's another fact. So to say that the melanated people, I mean, what he gave you was the birth of a nation. That's what he gave you on us. He gave you the birth of a nation on us. Archaic, whatever your name is. You tried to say black folks was on the birth of a nation during Reconstruction. He doesn't mention the KKK, the White League, the Bloody Coat. So that's why, and again, the Bloody Coat is all about how melanated people was able to sue these racist murderers and win money from them. Sometimes from generations. See, they don't want to tell you about that. The courts did work at times. These people who were violently murdered, in some cases, their families were able to go back and sue these people. Remember, the KKK got destroyed by it when they killed the young boy in Mississippi in 1980. His mother ended up owning anything linked to the Klan. All the pictures, anything, all the land they had at the time under the original name. She owns all that. It's like they used to try to say, wasn't cross colors. What was the one of the clothing companies they used to try to say that the Klan owned? And they're like, you guys are killing each other over this stuff. So, brother, you sound ridiculous. You sound ridiculous because in the the only thing that really changed, the main thing that changed during Reconstruction was we were taking away the planting. Because up to Reconstruction, up to the American corporation, see what they did, and I've said this many times before, you have to really look at what was done. The North killed all the Protestants, but the North tried to kill all the business too in the South. Because they weren't, even though the North was more industrialized, the South was worth more. You can look those numbers up. And the South was pushing the North out, especially DC can't exist without taxes. It doesn't exist. And the South, see that, and this is the point I make that no one else makes. The South did not go to war against the North. The South went to war against DC. That's a big difference. They went to war against 10 by 5. They went to war against a separate entity. Now, they didn't go to war against Illinois. They didn't go to war against Michigan, Wisconsin. They didn't go to war against Massachusetts. They only went to war against DC. And DC had to spin it. Look at the papers. Read the papers. Yes, slavery is all in the papers. But read the papers. They go to war against DC, not the North. And that's where the trick is. Because DC by itself was by itself. Well, B. Brown, thank you.
Shit, boy, trying to make me some money.
Thank you so much. Your mic is popping in and out. Okay. Might be too close. Thank you. Might be too close. So, yeah, I guess I'm hearing a little bit of that. Mic a little choppy. Okay. I got a lot going on here too. Not really hitting it up here, but I might be on it. L Dragon, what's happening? B Brown, what's happening too though? B Brown, thank you for joining. And L Dragon, thank you for joining. And I'm kind of moving around too. Doing a lot of moving around because when I come up, I know the sound's off, but I'll try to sit more still. Oh, and as you see, the beer distributor has been rehired, and so the beer is flowing. The air is flowing tonight. So as you guys join me and we come up with these different stories. All right. So that's just some thoughts. Because sometimes I just think, see, the whole argument is you try to be, because all of it is, some of it's real and some of it's fake. What do they say? In every lie, there's some truth. In every truth, some lies. I mean, that's how, language is controlled. And, his story, her story. And it's being able to decipher enough. Because, when I had to get off that dude's channel, because I didn't want to start trolling, but I'm like, dude, this information is out here. As I said, my great grandfather showed you, my great uncle. That is my great great uncle. I'm happy. And he fought in the Civil War, and he saw battles. Now, and that's why I was looking for the pictures. My great great grandfather George, and I don't know where the picture is. I got pictures in here. Finding them, going through the phone is quite a task. Trying to see. And he actually saw a couple battles in Florida, but he ended up going to the hospital with battle fatigue or shell shock. What's interesting in the storming of Fort Wagner, of the two brothers, they only sent one brother into battle. They held the other brother. That's interesting about the battle. They did not send both brothers into battle. One brother stayed back and gave out supplies, So that's interesting. That's how Isom lived. And Isom even had to sue the feds to get his pension. And we've got all that paperwork too. And have a big reunion on family property, and go through this history and get some more of the pictures. Get a lot better of pictures. And I guess I'm just gonna go slow to them and see. I got a million pictures of my dog. I guess that's how it is. Very little, but most of them like she's taking them. I saw I saw out to dinner. I saw a baby. I would guess didn't look like it walked, but I was like when I walked because I was going to the bathroom. We eaten at Chili's, and I passed a baby, and it was a Muslim couple, Somalians more than likely, and I saw the baby look down, and I had no thought what the baby possibly could be looking down because he looked too young, and sure enough, the baby had a phone in his lap. The baby had a phone in his lap. It was like they put it where he could look down, and damn if the baby wasn't looking down, watching the phone, being good. I was like, wow, at that young age. and I can't be anyone to criticize any of that because I'm just like any parent. And I know you parents, I know I said this before, I know you parents have, like Sly talking about buying your daughter a bat. I mean, that costs a certain amount for a certain uh, effect, but equipment. And many of us has been with that. We get our children whatever is necessary, but not just like the way we are as a society. We have children, and especially boys. What do? Most of his friends have the video games. He's already had interest. He played with under family members. So what do you think was natural? Again, I have 5 sons, and I bought 4 of them systems. Never bought Evan a system, but I bought the other 4. And this was almost like a coming of age thing. Like if I came across a picture of my tall son when he's a little boy, when I give him when he gets his video game, and back then he was getting seeing a psychiatrist. Psychiatrists give out medication, but therapists. And I showed the therapist the picture when he got the Xbox, I guess it was at the time. And the therapist was like, wow, I've never even seen this child smile. And I hadn't even thought of it like that. In this picture, he has like the biggest he's seasoned. What's in here somewhere? Oh, dang pictures. They're not giving me the correct roles. And so, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it or not. I haven't come across it. So it just shows he felt in his life this is what he wanted. And, as a parent, I had done it for brothers. And so, we can't knock ourselves out for keeping children up with what society, I guess it basically is. I mean, I know I'm addicted to the phone. I like to read and read a lot of stuff on the phone. This might let's see, this is a pretty big file, so yes, this might be what I'm looking for. All right, let's see. Okay, my daughter. Okay. Huh. I just like, let's look at this shit together. I always thought this was a sweet picture. I'm sure it is. He's fighting for the British show. But look at the buttons. Look at the outfit. I always love this picture. This is one of my, this is a make, one of my ancestors. Okay. This is, battle. Me and my dad, my sister, my daughter. Okay. This is not quite what I was looking for. Let's see. Oh, here's one for the ages. Okay. I'll show this one. This is my grandfather. This is my grandmother. This is my mother's sister. And this is her husband. This is all their children. But this is my great grandfather, born in the 1800s. My grandmother, born in 1915. These are all my cousins. All of them are with us. Well, again, my grandparents. None of these people here sitting are with us. He's not with us. But yeah, none of these people. And this is the first brother to graduate from Michigan State. This is the first American Indian to graduate from Michigan State, right here. He was able to grow a tree that grew both pears and apples. let's say, these are just pictures. Oh, I see. Okay, here we go. Now this is my grandfather, and this is the house my grandfather built, and then this is my father. This is my grandfather. I kind of look more like my grandfather now, and this is my father and his twin sister. But this is my father, and this is my grandfather. My father is 80 years old now. He's in his 30s. And this is player shit here. This is a player shit here. This is my grandfather. I showed you when he was older, and this is my grandmother. They had 15 or 16 children together. I think 11 survived, 10 survived. All together. Like their first, check this out. Their first 3 pregnancies was all twins. She got pregnant 3 times. They had 6 children. First 2 times she got pregnant, 4 children. Third time. This is my grandmother. And this picture has to be from the 70s because this is my uncle's basketball trophy. I think he got from junior college. And look at it, he ready to go. You know, he's a killer here. You know, he's a killer here. You can see my grandmother all about family church, but my grandfather, you know, that pimping don't ever stop. And he ain't never have to perm his hair. His hair was like naturally wavy. Him and my father actually had natural wavy hair. But again, these are American Indians. These people are from Mississippi. See, look at that. She's from Mississippi, and her people. Well, no, actually, his grandmother would have been Blackfoot. Looks like the rest of the family came out of Virginia. It appears, and we followed Forrest May to Virginia. It appears, but yeah, that's a killer. Ain't the picture I'm looking for. Here's another one. Check this out. You know, Markman X was on this, but look at this. All the students Nazi saluting. This is children of the Hampton Normal Agricultural School. I think this is Hampton State. Northampton State, I think it's called now. The Pledge Allegiance. Salute. See? When they did this now, this is what you got to remember is they put in the Pledge Allegiance to the corporation. You know, when they put in the Prussian schooling system and archaic, I've been known about the Prussian schooling system. I said that for years. But when they put in the Prussian schooling system, this is what they taught. Taught to hail, right? So you see, you're hailing. And it wasn't until Hitler did it that American children stopped doing it. So it was asking you to hail, doing the same thing that the Germans was doing, but they was asking you to do that to the corporation. You know, I had a book, a great book by Ali, but I never could find it. And this is the closest picture I could find to, wow, this picture, like, I wish I had the picture where he's looking across the ring because it's a little more effective. But again, this picture is sad because at this moment, everything that made this man great, he was either forced to give up or it was beaten out of him. Now, what I love about this picture is you see the ass whooping he took. Ali hit this nigga like he'd never been hit before. And his other side, his other cheek is all puffed up and broken. This is what getting jabbed in that leather did. He had never got beat up like this. Now, he called the fight, said he pulled a muscle, but the fights was fixed. But this is the look when, you know, you got to give up the crown. The one thing that made you important to the world. The one thing that made history always remember you. And at this moment, you got to give it up and you never regain it. You know, this is that look. I couldn't read and write. Ended up getting murdered by the mob because he didn't throw a fight. So the mob, you know, went in there, forced him and, you know, shot him, gave him a hot shot, made him OD. But this is that look, y'all. You know, when they give you the crown and you're on and they never really gave it to him. It was he was harassed the whole time. He was probably, being champ. They made his being champ a living hell, where he had to leave cities because they just wouldn't leave him alone. But another color picture where he's looking forward the moment before this that I love, but I can't find that. I can't find that book, and I had that book for years. So, check this out. Prince Michael of Chernova, Russia, passed between fires in accordance with the ancient Turco-Mongol tradition. Batu Khan stabbed him to death for he refused to do obedience to Genghis Khan's shrine in the pagan ritual. Note that Genghis Khan is depicted as what? So this is only a statue of Khan. This is one of his relatives. Kills this Turk. Kills him. And look up here. Again, they put, I believe this is the god is, I'm old man, but this is a depiction of Khan. You imagine after he died, he had all kind of depictions around the country of this man, supposedly. And then you got the white wizard right here. And the white wizard is pointing out that is the way. The white wizard is trying to tell him, look, you got to see these, and this is ego. He's in the robe. This is ego. Even they know what's happening. They're telling him. They're telling the European. They're telling the Turk. It's Persian. Prince Michael Chernova to do obedience to the Khan shrine. So he ignored it and he killed him. I thought that was an interesting picture. Right here. Try to put this on us. But I've said that many times before. You can find Columbus's men. They talk about it freely, so it's not hard to find. Where Columbus' men talk about when they finally snapped and started eating humans. Because their diet was not based on the American diet. They only took so many pigs and so many cows. When all that ran out, I mean, yes, there were a lot of natural things. The European wasn't used to eating all these natural things. And so the Europeans started this. They tried to say, and this is the European. This is what they were doing. And they always said that the greatest eat of a human is the human child. And so this is Europeans. This is what they did. They tried to depict it and put that on us, but this is what they did. And this is a perfect example of that. They were the original cannibals. And as I made that video many times of Mary Quinn. Okay, here's an example. Right here. This is the Europeans. This is what they did. That's why you see the European guild there. They're like, no, you're a part of this. They're trying to say these are the natives doing this, but this is what they were doing. And look at the cut. This is the way Europeans cut meat up. See, this is the giveaway right here. So they tried to make it like this is the native. The one thing Isabella did, Isabella stopped slavery. She said, wait, these are all my subjects. So you can't slave my subjects. That's what Isabella said. She said, you can't slave my subjects. So she's like, so the only time they could slave them was they said they were cannibals. But this is European behavior. Again, these ribs right here, this cut shows you that's a European cut. This gives away on them. So the idea of who the cannibals was is very easy to see. What's his name? Showed me I shouldn't. CJ Evans, she said I shouldn't show this one picture. Okay, here we go. What's his name? Archaic. Okay, here we go. Yeah, right here, baby. Right here, baby. This is my great grandfather. Right here. Right there. I have the same eyes. My children have these eyes. This is one thing that has went through the family is these eyes. And I look through it now, it looks like me. It looks like me at that age. It's almost looking at me or my uncles. Like I can really see everybody. I look at him and I see so many of us in him. But it's like we all have these eyes. My brother, my mother, myself, my grandmother, my grandfather, we all have his eyes. This is one thing that has went through time that I have. Those are my eyes. I'm looking at my eyes. But again, this is George Washington Ampey. Full-blooded American Indian. Mother born in North Carolina. Actually, mother born on the James River. Sapani. And he actually, I have it written down. I'm sorry, I don't know about her. I don't know which book I have written down. I don't know if this is the right one. Oh, yeah, okay. So, Eastern Abenaki. A little more light. What is it? Eastern Abenaki, Massatas, Maine, Connecticut, which leads to Namafushet, Winnepocket, Black Will, James Ampey, and this is Washington Ampey. His father was James Ampey, and James Ampey's story is almost like 12 years a slave. But James Ampey's grandfather was named Namafushet, and we know his remains were disturbed in Boston. Right? See, my family, when we go to James Ampey actually inherited a great big tract of land in prime Boston. Suddenly, both his brothers and fathers die. He's given this massive tract of land, and then all of a sudden he gets kidnapped, taken to Tobago for 7 or 8 years until he can come back. And then when he comes back, he marries Heathcock out of Shawnee tribe, out of Virginia, North Carolina. And then they have him. James Ampey, Dicey, Heathcock, him. These are my direct descendants. And again, this is real. As I said, end up battlefield fatigue, seeing people get killed. No, his brother got killed. His brother got killed in the storm of Fort Wagner. All of that played a heavy role on him. If you can make it. So something real. Oh wow. They might not like this one, but this is Jewish. It was Jewish. Jewish Bolsheviks, communists, invaded Russia in 1917 and mass murdered Russian Christians in a Jewish communist takeover. Eventually, more than 60 million people were slaughtered. Today, the Jewish media continues to hide the fact that the communists were Jewish. No, the Bolsheviks were the Jewish faith army. They keep trying to tell you that, they tell you that they tell you that the Nazis go into Germany and just slaughtering these unmilitary communities. Not telling you that the Bolsheviks were who these Jewish faith people were. Trotsky, again, if you watch the Trotsky movie that was on Netflix a few years ago, they tell you he copies his name from the superintendent in the prison he was in. Because these are Jewish faith people. Stalin, all of them took different names. Let's see. Is there something? Yeah, let's give this. I know this will be over a lot of people's heads, but I don't know how well I can break it down, but let's see. Except that is for neutrino. This one particle behaves so bizarrely and uniquely distinct from all others. It's the only standard model particle whose properties cannot be accounted for by the standard model alone. These are quarks. These are leptoids, antiquarks, and dileptide, and bosons. The particles and antiparticles are the standard model of all sorts of conservation laws, but they are all slight differences between the behavior of certain particle pairs that may be original of the biogenesis. This is kind of a breakdown of how the neutrino is completely different. And that's really probably, that's the word you really want to know is if you want to know what a free spirit would be a neutrino. A neutrino is born out of a black hole. A neutrino, there's nothing that can stop or contain. Light can be contained. As I said, time walkers walk on light. That means we move faster than light. Light is secondary to what we are. It is a secondary thing to us. We see that as going slow. Light don't just blind. I mean, again, if we can ride light is a secondary thing. But for all people to say, what is the time mark? It is definitely these neutrinos, something that can be captured, that can go just through it all. So I say, if anything, the last thought be like, hey, I want to go, and this is let me break down this picture. Dang, I wish I could blow this up. You see, blow it up. Nuts. No, go back. There's so much power in this picture. There is so much power in this picture. I'm surprised they allow this picture. This picture shows us a totally powerful position. And this picture shows us killing the Mason. The Mason, and this it's almost like Mason is agreeing with the sacrifice. Do you see what we have here? This is roped. And this is, this is afterward. This is before. And this is because, again, George Jackson was wrongly given life in prison for riding with somebody who robbed a gas station. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? George Jackson went to prison and got basically a life sentence for riding in the car with somebody that robbed a gas station with no death. You look at his jacket, it says undetermined. He got an undetermined amount of years on his jacket. So the brothers go to take him out. What they've done is they've strapped and taped. So if anything happens to him, but this is such a picture of power. Again, they get the guns from Angela Davis. Boy, this young man is 17. He's killed moments after this by a sniper. The judge doesn't make it. And George Jackson's brother is back here. These guns come from Angela Davis, I do believe. The FBI informant. But this picture is so powerful. The killing of the Mason, disregard for the Mason, the sacrificing of the Mason, of using the force against the Mason, the force that the Mason puts pressure on the rest of the world, we were forced to use against you. And this reminds me of remember the brother in Virginia? The brother in Virginia escapes. He goes back, kills the prosecutor and the judge. Do y'all remember that story? Then they say a European woman that he held up in her house is the one that made him see Jesus and turn himself in. And again, I mean, it's nothing to glorify. Yeah, I agree, but this is very powerful. I'm probably going to see if I can get this blown up and put into a big poster because I love this. I guess it didn't end well for any of these guys. These I know he gets killed, and he gets killed moments out later. It's a powerful picture. Very powerful. Oh, Lobo's in the house. And I know you can.
My bitch. You say you can't control your bitch? What?
I know you can. Lobo, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. I'm philosophizing. Hey. Let's see. Here we go again. See? These are Europeans doing this. They tell you here that Europeans are burning all these people because they're not, the American people aren't working enough for them. So they're killing these people to give a signal to anybody else. They're smashing and murdering the babies. These are Europeans. Europeans have tied all these people up. It would always be 13. They would burn 13 and they burned them. And but again, they would just murder babies. And you see these Europeans beating people. But this is the European behavior against the peaceful people. This is the Spanish Europeans. And the only real technology advantage they had was the steel and the gun, but really the steel. So who are really the barbarians? Does technology not make you, because you have technology, that doesn't still mean you're not a barbarian? Hello, but we was earlier going over Daniel Snyder buying okay. Going over Magic being part of the group that the Commanders. What did it say? 300% profit from 800 million. That is a come. That is a hell of a come up. 800 million turned 800 million into 5.8 billion. That's a come up. That's a come up like no other. All right, it's videos, a bunch of videos. Okay. That's just all this goofy stuff. And we're scrambling all this. Hey, Kobe.
Got that vision.
Thank you for joining. What? Okay. All right, next. Oh, okay. I'll show this one. This is another example. You know, a child that had such heartache that humanism came back. This is not my son you see the most. This is my daughter. But they're like super close. Again, he's 8 or 9 here, and she probably could walk here maybe. But they were instantly. But you see this, this this boy had a chance in life. And that's what this means. It's like he had a chance in life. And I'll say this. The moment he opened his eyes, I've told the story before of my teammate that I knew since I was in 3rd grade and we were a junior. His mother broke up with his younger brother's daddy. And my friend pulled up in the backyard to go to his house and get some skates. And before he went in the house, he heard something. He looked out the side of his house, and the last thing he ever saw was fucking shotgun blast coming at him. And his little brother, Daddy, who he knew very well, shot him in the face with a shotgun. And I don't bring that story up, not to bring anybody down, but he had the darkest brown eyes I had ever met. And the moment this child opened his eyes, it was my friend's eyes. I mean, it's the same really dark eyes. And it was just like, wow, okay. Because my friend was such a handsome young man. Again, what happened to him when he was 16, 17. Really don't know what he looked like as a man. As a young boy, he was, a young man. He was very handsome. But it's just funny how, those kind of gifts come back in life. And so this, young man had a chance. Because he came from a 2-parent home. And mainly, I get this in. Let's get this in. Okay. Let's get this. Okay. The name Patella. But this is my great grandmother, and she was pure Cherokee out of Kentucky. Oh my goodness, I don't have the name here with me, but she was a Turner, and she ended up marrying a Russell because her husband came from North Carolina, the same route as, again, he was probably the same tribe as James Ampey. Her husband, she's a different route to Michigan. And meeting the Russell. But Patella, but yeah, this is my great grandmother. And her son gets some kind of payments. Grandmother always felt she was too good to give them. Oh, y'all think I'd be talking shit about the games. All right. This is where it's at, y'all. This is Portland. You see? I'm 1 seat away from this bench. So y'all know I be capping. Matter of fact, it's a picture. I forget to play where you see me. They show the camera from up here, but this is where I'm sitting. I'm sitting right behind these niggas. You see? So you think I just be telling stories again? Look where I'm sitting. When you sit down here, because back over here is where you go eat. You got like a thing where you go eat, like this team where the visiting team comes out of. You go eat back in there. It's a lot better food, but we had good tickets. And I want to say this is in Tony. Not sure. Again, this is a picture of Ampies and Russells. This is my aunt. Where's my Okay, the great grandmother that I just showed you. This is her daughter. This is my great grandmother. My mom's a little bitty itch in here, but this is seeing Goings, Russells, Salters. I'm trying to think of all the other family names. Goings, Letts. Try to think. Pompies. What other names? Salters. But this is an Ampey reunion when my mother was a little girl. And these is all farming people. You feel me? These is farming people. Oh, see? Keep this picture. You see? This is my great uncle. Is a Ampey. I found it on Pinterest, but this is, I don't have to pretend who I am. They know who I am. And I want to say, this is what my birthday looks. This is 1961 in Mayan. Yeah, this is 1961 in Mayan. This is what my birthday would look like. The app I have, you can look up your birthday and it'll show you what the glyphs was for your birthday. So I'll be living this stuff. I don't just be, I live it. I live this stuff. I should do this. This is my oldest daughter. I don't, but this is my chin. She looks like her mother, but this is my chin. But, I get to love her from afar. How that go? But that's my oldest daughter. I get to follow her. This might be worth reading. It's kind of a spell, but it's a good spell. You are unified with the conscious and the energy of everybody and everyone, everything, every place, and every time within a vast unified field of potential. Then observing a potential in the quantum field is just becoming aware of a hand in the physical world. You are you connected to it. It already exists. Turn into the energy of your favorite and intentionally observing that potential in the quantum and then causes fields of energy collapse into particles called a quantum event. And that becomes an experience that can manifest in your physical 3-dimensional world. So if you need to hit that again, play it back, wind it. you know, some smells are positive. And this is positive. You know, this is Haitian Revolution, taking it to the colonizer. You know, victories. You know, get so much propaganda of melanated people, these American lands, losses, but this is victories. That's why, you know, that old man make all those cartoons and you keep saying a word over and over again. Okay, you get to believe in that. Ah, okay, let me show you this. This is my grandma. And again, the same eyes I showed you as George Washington. Those are my eyes. Those are my daughter's eyes, my son's eyes, my mama's eyes. I must say, my grandmother at this age was probably the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I've got a couple pictures of my grandmother. My grandmother is just, and this is no term, you know, this is no term. My grandmother was like just stunningly beautiful. Even as an old lady, she was just stunningly beautiful. Okay. Again, this is my second oldest daughter. Same eyes. Same eyes. Same eyes. You dig? So, you know, the eyes travel through the family. Okay. Give it out. Shit. This is me and my brother and our mother a few years ago. You see, I'm not near big anymore. I'm about 250 here. But, you know, my brother gives good energy. This is the three of us together. We used to all live here. I put a little bit of his stuff. Okay. You know, I always show this. I think this is still called like God. Let me see if I can find it quick enough. What's everybody's attention? God, I think it's called. Yeah, this is called God M. Has no real name. A couple. Let me see here. God M would be D H K L M. One of the most striking gods of Mayan codices, God M is a black deity with a prependerous lower lip and long Pinocchio-like nose. The deity is Mayan form of Yacacuta, the long-nosed merchant of God of central Mexico. It is a primary post-classic Mayan god that appears to have gradually close to early Mayan ancient deity God El. Yeah. And yeah, this is definitely God El. But it was first God, which would be really more Omen or Olmec. So we know the Olmec still had their place. You see, because they still, you know, they wanted to say how it was you know, how important the God was. They put this in there. It's this kind of movement. We had this kind of movement. You dig? You dig? Oh, here we go. It's not very clear, but this is Makins. This is all Makins. Can't believe. Okay, yeah. And this is my grandfather. This is my grandmother. My grandfather, my grandmother. This is his sister, Vera. They're making been she singers. This is my father. This is my father's brother. This is my father's sister. This is my father's sister. This is my father's twin sister. This is my uncle. and this is me. This is my first wife, and this is our oldest son. You know, they call it like this, so you can't miss me. And this is 90. You see Brian. This has to be 90, 91. My uncle suffering from multiple sclerosis. This is my brother Adam, my sister Haley, my brother Gabe. Trying to thank these sisters, Betty, because one of them just passed. I think she just recently passed. The baby, this might be her son. This is second cousin. I'm trying to think, where's my aunt in this picture? This is my aunt's husband, but I don't. This is my cousin Ryan, who lives in London. This is Kelly, I think. A lot of the younger ones again. Yeah, this is his brother. I'm kind of cool with this brother. But these two were born in Mississippi. He was born in Mississippi. These are Macons. So I don't hide from nobody. It ain't hard to figure out who I am. Ooh. Yeah, let's show this one too. So again, when we talk about how these sigils, what was done to them, and how not to use them is like they put locks on here. See, I mean, I'm lost in just looking at it. So take these out, and recreate this. You know, that's why I show. You know, when I show this book here, you know, this gives you, this gives you what day and what you go after. It gives you an idea of kind of how to go after this. And you take all the locks. If you see locks in it, you take the locks. These crosses be locked. You can just remove stuff. See, what they don't tell you is you can put together something like this to try to manifest. You ain't trying to bind nothing. Just you put this out and you just think about what you're trying to manifest. Now, again, each one of these does have its own kind of energy behind it. Oops, I'm sorry, showing it. Each one of these does have its own. Each one of them does have a paper of it. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but you have to be locked into this because some of the stuff it literally tells you to step into this, and if you're not strong enough to do that, you stay away from that. But you really need to do this. As you see, these are locks. Again, I'm not sure the name of this. This is one thing. You can just get rid of this. You can even turn them and make them cardinal directions or energy movers. But you take them out in this situation. Because yes, they gave this to you, but when they give this to you, they go into this stuff and put locks in it. So you can't enter this stuff. So if you dig that. That's kind of a way that they stop you. Oh, okay. All right, here we go again. This is what I was trying to show you of the family. I don't did it have George in it. Okay, yeah, it does. Okay, see, this is my great grandfather George Washington MP. This is his brother right here. This dude. You see that guy right there? Is that guy right there? See him? That's him. I for this a lot, and again, it's the same eyes. Again, brothers, same eyes, same eyes. I mean, look at this cat right here. And look at me. And we're about the same age here. Look at me. Look at him. And look at me. I should put the split screen. Split to screen. I didn't do it right. Nah, I didn't do it. All right. That's all right. Yeah. I mean, our favorite cat. We got the same nose. Our eyes are aging. Again, he doesn't have the male pattern. What's funny is his brothers have the male pattern baldness. Obviously, he doesn't. Remember, I was telling you, my beard grows exactly like this. My beard will not grow down straight. This is definitely something that genetically I have. My beard would not grow. My beard, look, you can see where it's separated here. You see that? That is definitely a family thing. It will not grow just straight in one thing. It grows just like what he has. Grows just like this. so it's not hard to see who I am, y'all. It's not hard to see. You know, I don't have to lie about this. This is who I am. This is what I've experienced. Let me show you this. This is actually here in my area. This is the Dakotas, the Lakota people fighting these Europeans. This is a New Ulm, I think it's called, New Ulm. And this is killing the people of New Ulm. I don't know if this is a recreation of the biggest battle, because before 9/11, the biggest killing of Europeans by the melanated people that live in these parts of America that was fighting back these Europeans was the Lakotas. Now, I don't know if it's this Battle of New Ulm. They killed 900 settlers. They killed 900 Europeans. And this is what led to Lincoln hanging 30-some people. He wanted to hang 200 people. But the biggest killing of Europeans up to 9/11 was what the Lakota people did to these Europeans, these settlers. Killed 900 people. And you can't even find them anymore. Now I want to put the numbers lower. But yeah, again, when you look at the older information, the older information is more correct than newer information. Because the newer information will try to lessen the numbers. And in some instances, you see where, the numbers are exaggerated, but in this instance, you see what really happened. So, this is not very common picture. A lot of people would know about. Okay. Here's another picture. This is my great. This is my great grandmother on the second side, and her name was Rachel Brewer. Doesn't it tell her name right there? It says Rachel Bacon, but her name was Rachel Brewer, Brewer. And from what I've learned, she was Blackfeet or Blackfoot. Not sure. Not the tribe in Montana, but yeah, the love I get from her people is like when I broke through and was able to get in touch with her and her energy, like this whole group of this whole tribe of people. It's like when I embraced her, I mean, this is spiritual. I'm connected to her. It's like I saw her and I went to hug her. When I hugged her, the whole community, the whole tribe hugged me. It was like I can't even explain to you like the love I got when I just went into her embrace. Like when I looked out, it was a nation holding me. I mean, literally everybody from this nation was like, okay, we got somebody that's getting this energy back out. We all got this energy to it. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm describing it, I'm still not describing it. So yeah, and hopefully the next picture is of her husband. If not, it is not. Okay, here we go. This is the thing I always say about the sacred ball game, and James Naismith not being the real creative basketball. Right there, basketball court similar to this one is now in Mexico, served as the playing for the game invented by Olmex's coach back 1700. They players earned points by passing a rubber ball through vertical stone on the walls at the end of the court. And that's not quite true either, because sometimes it was just like what we did. It wasn't just vertical. Sometimes the ball was also the same way. So, you know, I don't want to tell you that. They want to slant the hoop so they can say that they invented it, but no, the hoop was the same way we do it. The same way we do it. The hoop was not slanted. The hoop was the other way. Not to say they didn't have the slant games. And again, I've told you, you see this sometimes, and this ain't for ball playing. Some of these courts is grieving. But this is actually one where you would, you know, play. So, what since it's in here, I got something to say about it. And of course, you know, I always got something to say about this. This is a prime example of how they try to destroy it. They try to destroy this. You see it. You remember how they tried to destroy the houses, you know, in DC and Kemet? You can see they tried to destroy this. This is basalt. Do you know how, like, all these big holes they put in it, do you know how long it took them to break through these holes and still didn't destroy it? This ain't wet. I mean, this is them trying to destroy this. And they still can't do it. This is, even getting a big hole in it like this, they can't destroy it anymore. You can see how they're hitting, you know, but they can't knock it off. They couldn't do nothing, these little holes, to knock his nose off. And you see how hard they tried to do it. They just said, fuck it, tried to smash the nose down. You see, they smashed the lips. You see this? They smashed the lips out, right? They were successful smashing the lips. This is damage. This is damage Europeans did. See? But they couldn't destroy it. Couldn't destroy it. No, people understand that. Let's see. Oh, okay. This is what I was trying to show y'all. This is Perdella. Again, this is my great-great-grandmother. This is my great-grandmother's mother. Perdella Percello Russell. She was born in Langford in 1832. Was born in 1832 Ohio she was born in Ohio to James Harvey Langford and Elizabeth Langford. She was born in Wilson. James was born in Somerset, Alaska, Kentucky, which means more than likely he was Indian. She was born in Iowa. Yeah, definitely was Indian. And then she had 3 siblings. Okay, and she married my great-great-grandfather, Matthew Russell. Matthew was born in North Carolina. See? They had several children, and one of their children was named Adele. Adele Russell was my grandmother. And Padella passed, she died in Michigan. She's buried in Michigan. See? So right here, Kentucky, her daddy was more than likely Indian. This is the picture. I wanted to show you the son. Yeah, and this, you know, I remember when this is like the 8th birthday. And I remember showing this to the therapist, and the therapist saying, who is this child? I mean, up to this point, this was a very sullen child. But, you know, you see he got his Xbox. And again, you know, having me in his life, having, you know, life pretty stable. And what's going to happen every day was the same. This is what you produce. You know, true joy. Joy of being celebrated. Joy of being loved. Joy of finally having, you know, real people around them to take care of him. People love him. You know, Malcolm X thing said the hate that hate produced. Well, it's also goes the other way. The love produced. Just look. So, don't think you can like people. Don't think if you just y'all don't want to see this. Oh, you niggas don't want to see this. Yeah. Oh, who is that bad man? What does it say right here? Quantum. No, I didn't graduate from A&T. Quantum. This is in the yearbook. Quantum of consciousness. This is in the motherfucking yearbook. What does that say? Wide receiver Brian Aiken, though out of bounds, makes an excellent attempt at the ball. Safeties for to stop him and caught this ball. They should have gave it to me home. I'm out of bounds, but still should have gave it to me. You dig? That's me, baby. That's me. Okay, Quantum. So this is deeper than graduating. You know how many people can do this or have this opportunity? This niggas watching me. You see this? They watching me. You dig? This shit is packed. It's packed. 20,000 people, nigga. I'm performing in front of 20,000 people. Did you ever do anything like that in your life, Quantum? You have to graduate to do this. This is frozen in time, baby. You dig? It's greater than graduating. This is frozen in time. That stadium still sit there. That corner end zone's still there. Them stands is still there. That blue gold is still there. That's me, baby. So this is graduating. This is history. This is me on the ball field. You see? And where my people is from, North Carolina. I'm doing on the ball field. So that's why I was down there. You understand? Practicing the sacred ball field where my people come from. So I ain't gotta lie about this. I ain't gonna say I was great. But I had moments, nigga. 20,000 people, baby. And you know what? This game, no, this one was shown locally. Even this game was shown locally. This one wasn't shown nationally through ESPN, through BET. This was just locally shown in Greensboro. But this year, every game was on TV. Every game, baby. Every game my last 2 years was on TV. From Black College. HBCU, what the fuck you want to call it. So, the whole bullshit shot at me, man. Here we go. I always get this out. Drinking water with copper helps kill bacteria, stimulate the brain, regulate the function of the thyroid, soothe arthritis, boost skin health, slow down aging, improve digestion, and get rid of anemia. Because you're getting a lot of iron, and you know, I've had this since 2015. I drink from it every day. It's the first thing I stick in my mouth. For real, though. About time. I'm almost out of beer. It's about time to start pouring water. So. Yeah, let's give that up. Yes, let's give up the Jaguar energy. Anytime we can give up the Jaguar energy. Yeah. We giving up the Jaguar energy to y'all. The transformation. You know what they call the wear, baby. We giving you the transformation, baby. The transformation. We give you the Black Jaguar energy. That cat energy to you. We give that out freely to you. So may you use it. Where's it hiding? Where's it hiding? Transformation energy to you guys. Sorry, I get sideways. We give that out to y'all. I'm not sure what this is, but again, we can investigate. Yeah, okay, I know what this is. Columbus was carrying Indians pretending to be down foolers. Large force be dispatched to the Vegas district, quietly distribute his soldiers among villages with interior, blah, blah. Let me see. What I think this is burning of the natives, the crime of sacrifice. But I think what this means is what did he say? They said if this is the story, I'm pretty sure, where it said how can I put it? He said that I will never go to your God that is such a murderer, that has nothing to do with love, that only murders and kills. I will never go to that God. I think that's what this message is. So, um, I don't know if I can explain this to y'all. Yeah, because a lot of I know Fly said with Forerunner when they talk about double slit experiment. Um, but all it really shows you is, again, it shows you that particles only relate when you're looking at it. As I've said before, kind of simplistic way of looking at that is, as I said, the only thing that exists around all y'all, the only thing that exists for me is what you see here. That's it. The only thing that exists is what you see here. But, and again, the ones that put your names in and watching, none of it exists, to other than the names I'm seeing. And that's kind of what the devil tells you. It's saying, again, particles are only going to react. The particles not only can pick and choose, they also, there's a thought into, you're not even going to react if you're not watching. You can run these experiments all you want and we're not going to react, because what they found out is they weren't really paying attention to them. They would just go through one side and they would pay attention to them and then split like they had, a thought. But then they want to teach you about locality. Our consciousness is not local. We get our consciousness from just beyond everything. You can take your consciousness just beyond, and then later, try to go catch up to it. So I don't know if I can explain this. Yeah, I don't know if this would make sense. Okay, I guess I could kind of explain this. I'll just read it, So what it says is Australian physicists discovered an electron with a particular set of properties. It included another electron with similar properties from forming. This became known as exclusion principles. Pauli's exclusion principle is cited to be one of the basic principles of underlying chemistry and the nature of chemical bond. In his book, Pauli explains that the exclusion principle provides the reasons for a range of elements in the basic periodic table. See, he put together the periodic table. Every element differs from the next one by only one electron. Paul also mentions the stability of an atom or molecule due to the inner exchange resonance between electrons, that the fundamental principle of quantum mechanics, which underlines this important concept of resonance energy exchange, is the comparison one system to another. Ratio, remember, only when something appears different, it can be perceived, actualized. Resonance is harmonic. Resonance is harmonic. As a result of confinement within a boundary, the consciousness interval of 0.951, I think it's sonic, which means oscillations, repetition of thought patterns within a certain time interval on octaves. Our 17th sense perceives these patterns as an image, a sound, a taste, a smell, a touch combined within. And they give you the wave. And this is how the wave seems. Oops, quite. Oops, sorry. Okay, right here. If you're looking at it, how it's going to come across. See, the wave, your thoughts. So I don't know. That might be a bit much. I'm sorry. as much. And I'm not trying to talk to anybody, you know, it's not like that. Oh, you know, it keeps, don't stop, man. This is from the yearbook. Oops. Mm. Damn, yeah, I'm a poster of this. This is old Memorial Field. Again, Derek Jeter played his semi-pro games on this same field. Or excuse me, he played for the, what were they, Hornets? The Greensboro Hornets? But this is our 9-3 team. This is the team that was the first team in A&T's history that won 9 games. These linemen, these niggas all in here led the nation in rushing. Even though we were Division II football, we still led all football in rushing. My partner Squirrel right here, he led the nation in kickoff returns. This is Soul Train, Billy Mills, Greg Boone. This is Ray Doe. This is Frank Carr, Superstar. Again, that Sweet 19, you know it's me. This is Pig Iron. Pig Iron passed, and their spicy helmet. Yeah, we can't. It's another brother pass. I can see his leg. Big Smooth is passed. But yeah, we had a saying. We wanna cry, but we know we gotta fight. And these were my brothers, you know. Again, this brother. Matter of fact, 2 of these linemen have died of diabetes. Brother died of diabetes, and Big West. Big West is we can't see. He recently died. I don't know if this is West here. Wow. Now, of all these linemen, I didn't even think about it. Wow, yeah. Like 3 of these linemen have just spirally. All of our offensive linemen, only Spiley, I think, is alive. No, Jenkins, Corey is still alive. So is probably Pig. That's was the guard. Yeah. Pig was guard. I don't see. But yeah, 3 of these dudes, these linemen, the 4 linemen, 3 of them died. Laquano, this is in the yearbook. So, you know, I ain't gotta blow my shit. This shit's out there. This shit is out there, baby. It's out there. Oh, I ain't gotta bring it up. Okay, I don't mind showing these niggas. These are, you know, the boy with the cheesy face. These are my sons with her. This is my second wife. This is my son you see most. And these are my sons. These is all big niggas. I mean, she's damn near 6'3" herself. And he's taller than all of them. They're taller than him. They're younger here, but they're taller than him, and he's 6'5". This is my young man. Ah, here's Elizabeth. This is Elizabeth Ampey. She died in her 40s. 4 children. Then she died not shortly after she had the 4 children. Walford, I think, is the family name we get from them, is Walford. Summer, I'm gonna take a better picture and get almost an exact duplicate. What we really see here is what they did is they would take a picture and then they would add detail to the picture. Like you see, there's some drawing in here too. Like if you see here, they kind of shaded out of their eye because they can draw. You see, they couldn't really draw. They messed up this, but this is how they did pictures. They would highlight. Her hair's whipped. I mean, look at her hair. It's really whipped. This, her hair is really whipped. Look at that pin there. This, you have super good hair to do all this. But yeah, she's melanated in something, German, some family we don't understand yet. I guess I would look at the paperwork, but not fully that. I mean, it's no way she would be allowed to marry American Indian. She wasn't, she was fully whatever we'd find Wilford or something. We find her name. Here we go. Now check this out. Is it possible? Is a police state in the U.S. absolutely? Is a police state in the U.S. absolutely? That's because people are essentially the same world over, regardless of their culture, race, religion. Certain percentages of them are sociopaths. The standard distribution of sociopaths across time and space is a function of Pareto's law. Look up Pareto's law, better known as the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Another 20% are responsible for 80% of the crime. 20% of the population always winds up with 80% of the wealth. So forth. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? How long have I been going? Oh, almost 2 hours. I'm just really prophesizing. That's all. Here we go. You talking about the ball game? This game is really close to what a lot of you would call Tacolina or Snare the Queer. No disrespect, but that's kind of what it was called. But the object was there was only a few balls, and so serve. Now again, this could be played with, just like Tacolina. It can be played with scores of people. Sometimes you can have one ball, and you can have 40, 50 people going after one ball, trying to score. It's 2 goals. Be like this goal. You try to. All these people will try to stop you from throwing this goal. So you sometimes play one ball. Sometimes it's with a couple balls. But it's actually more like tackling, kind of a go for what you know. Everybody's trying to get the ball to score, and they're trying to stop you, and you're trying to score everybody. Or it's more organized. But see, this was the version 2 where it wasn't just organized. You can go for what you know. So. Wow. I think the world went crazy. Um, okay. So shit. Yes. I forgot about that. I want to show this. This is something people don't really know. You would have thought this would have made. It took me a while when I first started looking into this. It's a lot to find, and I was like having color pictures of this. These are Henry White rifles or Winchesters. Let me see. What are they saying? Henry's Winchesters. Okay, could have been either. They don't even say Winchester, Spencers, or Henry. So these are Henrys. These are repeaters. These are repeaters. Do you see the advantage? Now, what is your name? Let me see this again. I'll do my Civil War thing on this picture. Archaic. I'll say this. So any people watching, this could slaughter people. This would be an extreme disadvantage. Again, they're all holding Henrys. What's the Danny Glover movie that Kevin Costner and them are in? What is that movie called where they're all cowboys? Damn, what's the other dude named? Kevin Kline is in it. Can't think of the cowboy movie. Remember Danny Glover was one of these Henrys? Remember, what standard people in the Civil War had was, shoot, and you got to re-ball and stuff it down the pipe. You ain't got to do that with these. And they had cavalries that carrying these two. So if there was a slaughter, again, if you had cavalry of these people with these was fighting people with them precision pistols. Even they had a little more advanced one that was you just had to put the cap in and shoot it. No, you didn't have to do that. It was a little more almost like not a repeater, but not as fast as this, but You could slaughter a lot of people if you had this, and they had the ones with the balling where they had the stuff, you know. And these, even though they was more expensive, they had these. It's archaic. Slaughter could be done with these, as even slaughter was look like battle. If you put a cavalry of people with these against a couple companies of people with the old-fashioned guns, and you supported the cavalry with artillery, you would kill the shit out of people. You understand what I'm trying to tell y'all? So you faced a smaller force, but you had artillery and you had cavalry, and you at first shot the line as they would line people up, right? And then the people lined up the old-fashioned way, 30 across, and then you sent these people at them. These a cavalry with these, you 20 people could easily kill 100, especially by artillery. If you dig what I'm saying historically, militarily. So it's possible the slaughter could be looked at as battle, but really it'd be slaughter because of the technology. You dig? I want to talk about this. Damn, I want to talk about this. This is the one divine says that people from India don't eat meat on Tuesdays because of this god. This is another. I think his name is Human something is his name. Maybe I'm wrong. If somebody knows the name, but this is another variation of the Monkey King. They just changed him to being pure love. Kind of changed that aspect. They've gave Monkey King just the aspect of pure love. It's the way the one divinist explained it to me. Yeah, this is the Monkey King. So I'm gonna take a break. I've been standing up for a couple hours. I will. Let's see. I can bring that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me a few minutes break. And actually, let's see that. Just play the rest of that. Oh, here we go. Just play the rest of that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll just play the rest of this. All right. I'll do that instead.
America have already been beaten down. We have already been killed to some extent. We have been quiet, etc., for years. But there's been a certain group of you that have never experienced this before. And so I'm talking to you, my brothers and sisters, that didn't think they were my brother and sisters. Guess what? You're feeling what it's like to be censored. You're feeling what it's like to be in someone's shoes that has no voice, that is 3/5 of a person, that can't represent themselves in a court of law. If you kind of understand where we're going here. Do you remember the plight of the woman? Do you remember that? See, these are the things. Now you that never would have thought that your own brothers would turn against you, the rebels, that they would turn against you and do these things and throw you in jail and make it that you're the one that's right now number one enemy. Enemy number one. Terrorist. They want to condemn everyone that is speaking against their way of thinking as a domestic terrorist. And that is how it is. If you don't believe in their vision, you're wrong. That's why you'll notice that when Twitter started showing some of the truths coming out, there's a lot more to come out. You'll notice that those that followed and understood what Trump was saying, they were the ones that they were targeting. Everyone else's accounts could continue on. The other side of the coin is democracy, the Democratic Party, the Democratic people that continue to feed into that, right? Only that side. Well, their accounts weren't taken down. It was mostly the Republicans that were taken down. So this is where you have to understand that something is wrong. We know that at the core of both the systems, they are both rotten. We can smell the sulfur coming from them, and it's not a rotten egg. It is more foul than that. But we can also say that there is a glimmer. There are always hope. There's always somebody there that is trying to shine some light for others to follow. Now, did Mr. Trump do everything that he could have? No. Because if he would have been successful. Okay? He would have been successful. But what happened was he wasn't clear and concise with the picture of freedom of what he told you we were about. And now let me tell you what we are about. First of all, we are the people. We, the people, of the people, for the people. We are saying that we want to be a part of, not separate of, and not lorded of by the government. That means that we don't want to have a.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I know it was kind of choppy. Not sure what made it so choppy. Yeah, let me close that back down. Bring this up. Yeah.
Separate of.
Shut that down. OTF, what's happening? Quiet. Yes. What's happening? OTF.
My bitches. You saying you control your bitches? What?
Yes. Yeah, no. Now, one thing, Brother Macbone, Bishop Macbone, Miles, he wants to get together, and we're gonna get a couple of people. One thing, I'm sorry I didn't bring it up. I gotta transfer this file on the computer so you guys can follow along. Put the pages on, because I have pages on my phone, so I know I can put them over. So I'm gonna do that too. I want to do that too. I don't have it in. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that was it. So I didn't have it in. Yeah, I have to get it in another form. I don't have it in that form. share. So I'm going to have to reformulate it. So please forgive me. But and what we're going to try to talk about is we're going to try to talk about some of the things that's considered cult. That's what we're going to look at. Okay. Oh, this is not what? Starting where? Okay. Why? Why? From how far back? From how far back? From how far back? Okay, from here. So I'm not understanding. Unsubscribe. Okay. Yeah, I was doing that a minute ago. It was just showing. So something's happened. That's all right. I'll get into it another time. Because what I'm up 2 hours. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Pretty big fucking file. Oh, that was the end of it anyway. Let me see what this. That's some bullshit. Okay, that's all right. What? It's fucking. I think I got everything in. I wanted to get in. uh. So. But. Gosh, I've been putting it off. But I ended up getting my book. It's called Complete Magician's Tales. And uh, so what's been done, what we didn't realize is, as I said before, when I went into the Americas, John D specifically, and Cortez and they took all the skulls. They didn't know what these crystal skulls were. They didn't know what these obsidian mirrors were. They didn't know what these crystal balls were. Took all this stuff and they did years and years to try to figure out how to use this. Now, when we get into when we talk about binding and stuff, when when they talk about circle and binding, you trying to do that, working with that energy. The reason why you had binding energies is because these energies was unnatural. The energies were not for the Europeans. That's why you go back to colonization where the Europeans, take me to your gods. They talking about take me to your technology. Really. So what they've done is taken a lot of what would have been natural correspondence with the Americans, how we get it through the sacred ball game. Just as I just showed a picture, I showed a picture of a ball field. All ball fields wasn't just for playing games. Some of the ball fields were literally for grieving, especially, mothers who had lost children. So it took so much of this and got people to finally be able to tap into this kind of stuff. Now you get the original 007 Ds. Now, what's interesting about John D, he was actually the first spy. He was the first Queen Victoria's spy. He was the first spy. Well, no, I don't know if the, but the first. That's where 007 comes from. It comes from John D. It's his spell. They've made all these movies about super spy. He meets Edward Kelly, And what my brothers broke down and what we see, and I have to put it all together for me. Like being a time walker and then coming across this stuff and being able to use this stuff, you know, and being a time walker and then coming across this and saying, wait a minute, when did they do it and how? Because it becomes, because you see, this is what a time walker also does, is a time walker observes and says, wait a minute, it's been a change. You know, when they try to show the movies 2000 Space Odyssey and the monkeys got links, you know, they're going crazy. But it's like, when was something artificially injected somewhere? Remember Star Trek? Remember when they was just supposed to stop the volcano and save the people, and the people end up in the starship, and all of a sudden, you know, they worship the starship. Well, they show you that they've done this before. That's what they're trying to tell you. They've some kind of way, all this technology they've took from other places, they have learned how to tap into. It's very old. The stuff that's around and it's just suppressed. And I know when I talk about the Mai, again, I'm the only one that sees the importance of the Mai. Everybody wants to talk about out and now, even that goofy, whatever his name is, play his stuff on the Mai and the little joke, Billy Carson, whatever his name is. None of these cats talk about the Mai. They don't understand. Again, you look at the shows like American Gods, it shows us what the importance of the Mai is. Going back to the telegraph. And the Mai is in everybody's hands all the time. Tell me what's more important than the Mai does. That the Mai has tricked us to keep it with us all the time. Right? The Mai is one of our greatest gods because what is the God? What is the goo? What is the charm? Something all the time. Right? Women this type of charm, again, it's your leg. Carry that with time and without it. What the gangster is phone and pistol. But so to build on top of all this, just like protons and electrons, to build on top of this, how matter goes, and going into the 1500s, when we start with John Dee and what John Dee took out of the Americas, the technology gain that the Europeans gained from doing this, and they didn't fully have guns. Again, you know, a lot of that story doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense either. Because how they sleep if I got 1 million people that can just constantly try to kill you? How do you sleep? If you only got a certain amount of horses and a certain amount of men, I just send people at you day and night, how do you sleep? That's not explained about Columbus. They ain't explained about anything. Once we saw you were foul, we would just have too many people override you. Oh, you can't. Columbus did not even have guns. The guns Cortez had was very rudimentary. They don't one shot every 20 minutes. So it's just swords. But again, swords can't take away from pure human power. So those stories make no sense. Cortez's make less sense than even Columbus's story. It makes less sense. And then the guy that goes up and conquers the Indians, that makes even less sense. You're telling me people in armor can go these tropical places and just survive. And then people say, well, you had Moors and more. No. This was tropical like they never experienced before. And you're telling me they're able to wear this armor and carry all this heavy metal and fight in a tropical environment with bugs like a motherfucker. And the people with Peru make even less sense. They tell you that they can go them high altitudes that even us suffer when we go up there. And not only they didn't suffer, they was over to conquer. So it just all comes to this stuff really believable. And there was language put out there that all they use to create not just even a language, but a reality. And it's almost, this kind of hints almost shows you clues of how it was done. And the symbols and the signs. Because again, if you look at all this, I shouldn't really give this out. But all this is already in a computer where you can see, like in the Matrix, where you can see this is all in a computer where you can see it going down the way it's alive. You can put this where it's alive in like the Matrix, where you try to read it in comparison, and how they made reality out of this, and how they were able to create these just unbelievable stories in the language, in the way they did it. So that's what we're trying to do, is get a group of guys together and a group of guys putting their opinion on how this is all done. That's all. So that's all. So that's why I bring this up. And for those of you that, these are out there, this is very inexpensive. I think with it all, $44, but it gives you so it gives you alternative names for the planets. Is for moon, Mars for Mars, Dallas, sun. So it's not so again, things weren't called one thing the time. Again, it gets into a little bit of the Kabbalah, Golden Dawn cipher manuscript of the Tree of Life. Again, we know where they got this from. And I gotta put the PDF on the computer. And they come up with the different names. When you go into, like, I don't know, like, I don't really, there's a lot of energies you can call on. I can't say yeah or nay. I don't use it like that. The energies that work with me. It's like I go into the elements. The crisis come, I like hit the elements too. It's like it's an element thing. I hit the elements. So I talk to the thing where the crisis is coming from. Hey, this is the energy. Oh, of course. Yeah, astral projection. Yeah, of course. Probably like my whole life been able to do it. It's not really hard to do. Yeah. Often, well, what happens is when you open up your third eye, that is astral projection, just opening up your third eye. I mean, if you can really sit there and like, if really, let me see, I can this down. Gotta go over there. Like, really, if you could, like, just see this and close your eyes. Like, you could look at this picture, then you could close your eyes, and then look at the picture and then close your eyes. But what this picture really represents is how you open your third eye. And so if you look at where the sun is, it really opens up just like this over a sea. It's like, think about how when you close your eyes, the different colors come around, and it's just like this. There's something that comes just like that that opens up. Now, there's mild ways of when it opens up for you, but it's all astral projection, still the same. It's by opening this up, you are astral projecting. And it can get so good where you can, like one thing that's great about mirrors and crystal balls, this teaches you to trans with your eyes open. So what I'm saying is the good thing about crystal ball and mirrors are it teaches you how to see, open up your third eye with your eyes open. So you're actually astral projecting with your eyes open. And again, it's sometimes a lot easier at night, but you can do it in the daytime too. Like a lot of times when they show you where, you know, someone can open up a portal and you can go to the portal, how do you think they're doing that, especially when they're doing it in the daytime? You know, it comes from this. But this is like a perfect example of what astral projection is, or even a better example of how you open your third eye, what you kind of see. Because really it kind of goes is, you know, the quietness of your consciousness, the quiet of your mind opens up into something like this, your own sun. And it's not just yellow, one color. It opens up, you know, multi-colors, multi-things. So, yeah. Wonderful. So that's yeah, that's my experience with it. No, no, go back. Read it. So there. Oh. All right. So, uh, is any um for a beginner, it's better to it's basically ground. Say that because I just say ground because you know, you can't take off unless you're grounded into the all the energy. That's what grounding is. It's almost like it's the real. You know, they show rockets and they show rocket, you know, pushes off and it goes up. That's the same kind of way. It's like if once you're grounded and you're part of this earth where you live, you get that push from being grounded, and that's where you really have to start. And it's hard when you live up, you know, 7, 8 stories and you ain't a lot of grass around you. It's a hard thing to do. The great thing about Shugite is something like these cubes. I don't know if it's reachable. Let me see. I mean, what's so great about Shugite cubes is this is a great grounding source and protection, you know. But if you don't, you know, I always like where I lived before, where I lived on the second floor, it was great. And you can see the quartz in it, and you can see the gold pyrite. Excuse me, yeah. So it's a great thing of, you know, ground. And through grounding, you know, it lets you take off. So that's how I would start. There's a lot of different things that can open up, you know, your third eye. There's so many things that can calcify Shugite, the Shugite water, the she legit. She legit makes vision clear. It makes astral visions clear, makes astral moving clear. So there's things that help you know, clean it up. Jimi Hendrix music is another thing. I know my soul, you know, uh, I know he put Jimi Hendrix to wax, and probably the best way if you can like even through Bluetooth. But if you could get to Jimi Hendrix and to get to albums and play some of his music, like his original 3 albums, like the double album is probably the best, and that's a vibration that will open everything up. Um, but remember to get him. I would even say like the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock. His Woodstock performance would be, if you can get that on wax too, that would help. Yeah, but those are things that help declassify, calcify it, because that's what they do with the food, TV, and everything. They use that to calcify everything. So, yeah, that's the kind of thing that, unfortunately, that's what most people like. Most people, everything is calcified. So it stop you from going forward. Most insane shroom trip you ever had. I don't know if any was like insane. I never say that anything was really insane. Crazy insane. Um, I would just say that it is really um how do I explain this? It's like I guess the best one is really like breaking through and not realizing that you just broke through, and the guardians coming, because it's what, if you get that, it could be very wrong, but it's like I broke through so young, the guardians came to me, and then the guardians, because a lot of time it's comprehension. So you have these experiences, and there's nothing around you can comprehend. So the guardians come in and give you an experience in that where you can comprehend. So they came to me and put me in an experience where I could kind of comprehend it, but also be protected. That's an ancestor thing. Like, you broke through, you really shouldn't have. It's like you're 40, 50 years ahead of what you should be doing. I think that's really what it was. It's like when I put myself on this path, it was one time I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm 19, 20 years old, ancestor. Everybody, y'all got to get with me right now. I'm here. And the ancestor's like, whoa, okay, he's not supposed to know this right now. So we've got to go, like, alarm went off in my ancestral, whatever vine or branch. Something went off because they came at me. They was like, hey, it was like when the Matrix found Neo and they had to go get him. It was like they found me. I would say my experience was definitely like this is like in 1980, 81 at the latest. And I had broke so hard that I'm pretty sure like Neo, like, found him. I think almost exactly what happened to me is like they came and found me because I broke through this shit. And so, and I don't think I was supposed to, but it always made me so it always made me see it's more than this. It was like they couldn't erase that. So it's like I was exposed to that, and then it never went away. Like, hey, it's something that's here. So, and it took a lifetime even trying to understand what happened to me, because what happened. Like, no, who do you talk about that with? Like, astral traveling, I ain't even heard words until shit the early 2000s. So when you have these experiences in the 80s, there's no one to really talk to about it. I mean, a few people I was close to, they didn't like, okay. That's how they get. They ain't, I don't think I was ever judged, but it's like, okay. So no one you can really talk about. You just have to hold on to the experience. So it's a more common now, but then it wasn't when it's common, and that's where, and that's really where it's like if the ancestors don't care, you can really misuse in that kind of thing. But I think I had enough ancestral love, I think, where it was like, okay, it because it's inside of you. You dig? It's inside of you. So what was inside of me probably was supposed to come out for years and years, but yet it came out right then. And so ancestors is on notice too. It's like, okay, well, this is in his DNA, but how can we make him comprehend it so young with experience and no one to talk about this with? Yet there I was. amongst them, amongst the ancestors. So the ancestors had to make a decision. That was the most intense. But it's like visions are like so intense too, because visions, man, you like a vision. When visions come in, you're there. Like you're really there. When you get a vision, you like you're there. It's like remember little cameras you look and you make the picture go. That's a vision. The vision is that the viewfinder. The vision is a viewfinder. Except you are there. Remember they did it like when Raymond Stone used to have vision. It's like that. It literally comes in like that. Now, of course, the part they put in that show is you got to really vibrate high. You've got to really vibrate high. That's why the deja vus, I agree with Quantum of Science, what he says about deja vus. Deja vus are a kind of reward. That's what a deja vu is. I agree with that. That's you've to make you even say, okay, this is orchestrated. I've been here before. That's some kind of reward. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like you're ahead of this thing a little bit when you get those. Visions is even more ahead of that because a vision, whatever, it's there. I mean, you literally go somewhere else and get like you're standing there looking at it. Whatever it is, it's not a dream. It's like when you get visions, you are literally with your eyes open. Visions are only with your eyes open, at least to me. Where I move into it. It's like I'm always in my eyes open and it just takes me somewhere and I get a view of something else. The best restaurant? Oh my goodness, what is this restaurant I'm going to tomorrow? You know what? I'm sorry, I don't know. It is so. I mean, one thing about my fiance and my mother, they know all this stuff. I couldn't tell you the names of half these places. Like my uncle had asked me the same thing a few years ago. I like a couple places I could tell him. I didn't realize where the big spoon is. That's the sculpture gardens. I didn't even realize that. And I knew where that was, but it's another museum there I ain't never been. So the names I couldn't even say. You know, you'd have to hit me up if you came here, but it's so much. Like it is so many good restaurants up here. I couldn't even, you know, I like tomorrow I'm going to a Mexican place tomorrow because they don't have live music. They got live music every day. I love that. Everybody dressed up, you know, really love that. And so, you know, the food was outstanding. So I'll try to remember the name of the place. But that food was good. So I mean, whatever you like, it's here. It's here. Like we went, this is the kind of thing. My fiance will literally wake up and just like, do you want to go have breakfast somewhere? I'm like, okay, cool. And we would literally go about 70 miles to have breakfast in a little suburb. So we went someplace. My son's best friend goes to school in Edina, so we went downtown Edina. Again, I live in Burnsville. We went to, I don't know. I forget the little. My friend knew the campus or something. I forget. We went to an Italian place. I forget what Italian place was. It had this huge giant mirror in it. Oh my goodness! And they had the best olive oil, virgin olive oil. They gave you this bread with this virgin island. Oh my goodness! Talking about the bread, the olive oil. Like man, it got really like an olive oil. So it's. Oh, you thinking about a trip? Yeah, you have to let me start writing this stuff down because I really have to write it down to tell you. But it's such good food here. Like even at the Mall of America, it is um you know where they cook the food. They cook the food at your it's the Chinese food they cook right at where you sit. What is it called? You know, you got your own chef and he's making food at the table. It's hotter than the motherfucker at the table, and everybody's sitting around the table and making the food for you and shit. One of those is at the Mall of America. We got the Bubble Bumps at the Mall of America. And it's a lot of good food. Don't go. There's a Mexican restaurant by Macy's. Bypass that place. It wasn't very good. But most of the food the Mall of America, excellent. They got a whole floor of just food. Well, the fourth floor is like Gators and well, not even Gators, but it's what's it called? Hooters. Hooters and the Comedy Club is up on the fourth floor, but it's a couple restaurants up there too. Hibachi's, yeah, Hibachi's, yeah, I think it's Hibachi's. Thank you, DJ. Yeah, Hibachi's is on the Mall of America. Hibachi kind of place. I'm thinking the name of. I don't think the name of Hibachi, but that's that kind of yeah. But that's at the Mall of America too. But you're gonna have to make reservations for that. But you can stay at the Mall of America as well. I mean, you can literally stay at the Mall of America, and it takes you everywhere. It really takes you everywhere. You can take the train. I mean, the train ain't really tripping like that. Like people try to say, it ain't really tripping. Train is cool for the most part. Well, and Uber is it's more Ubers than cabs, so it's like getting around up here is no problem, no problem. So, but yeah, it is whatever you like here. It's so many restaurants. One cat is making food. He's opening up 2 more restaurants. So it's if you guys know what a Juicy Lucy is, do y'all know what a Juicy Lucy is? It's a hamburger with melted cheese in the middle. Well, they claim they invented that shit here, and it's everywhere served Juicy Lucy's. And it's literally a big patty about so big, but it's burnt hot cheese in the middle of that shit. So go to Twins versus Dodgers out there, then the do a sports bar there. Oh, bad. Okay, yeah. I have to see when they're coming. I've got to see a Dodgers game. And if you hear, go see the Saints play too. Saints is laid back. I think that's what we're going to first. We're going to the Saints and then go see Twins. But the Saints games is really cool. Really beautiful stadium. The tickets are very mild. The beer's good. The food is cool. The atmosphere is really cool. But as I said before, about the Saints game, all AAA games are computer strikes and balls. So that's the cool thing I want to go see about the Saints. I mentioned that a couple weeks ago. So the Saints are the top, minor league. We got a couple AAA teams. Rochester is our AAA, and the Saints is our AAA Twins. So that's cool. When they send them down to, they send them down to St. Paul. It's in the same city. Rochester, you got to go about 50 miles away. So that's the cool thing about seeing the Saints playing under them rules. So next week after we're going to see the Saints, then we'll see some Twins games. My fiance don't really like baseball like I do. They like the Twins, but like the Saints, and we've seen a few games over the years. So yeah, but yeah, I looked up to see what the Dodgers come in. Oh shit, I'm going for a minute. What time is it? Okay, I got to get up pretty early. Got to get up early in the morning. Wow. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that'll be cool. I have to write some places down tomorrow. I'll ask my fiance and I'll try to write some places down. Then take it. Yeah, because right now go for Chicago to here is $55. I can fly to Chicago for $100 and back. Yep. Chicago and back is $100. 55 one way right now. Roughly 45, 50 minutes. Grand Rapids, Michigan to here takes roughly 45, 50 minutes. Detroit takes an hour. If you fly out of Detroit, it take you about an hour. But if you fly out of O'Hare or if you fly Midway, it takes roughly about 45 minutes. Now, fly out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, 50 minutes. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's going on. Because we was looking at, because I'm going the end of June. My birthday is the end of June. Me and Sly got birthdays around each other. I think we're both cancers. Yeah, that's a good deal. $55 from Chicago. Like we got like a bus. And buses can be pretty gross, but the bus that goes straight from here to, it only stops one time. It stops to go eat once, and then it takes you straight to the Chicago. So, and again, you're on a bus, and anybody can be on bus. Or we got the trains. You take the train. That ain't gonna take you about 10 hours. But it's cool traveling. I mean, train is really, really cool traveling. It's really cool traveling. So, but yeah, it's a good deal right now because my fiance asked me if we want to do it in the month. She's like, do you want, are we, take the train? Are we gonna, what are we gonna do? And it's like, I'd rather drive, rather drive to Chicago. So, as I said before, I hope to meet with some people in Chicago to do a show. I hope to take their equipment down there and I got 2 more mics. So, and yeah, the laptop and everything set up. And I hope to do that. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Yeah. Oh, I know it's medication, yeah. But yeah, that's a great deal. So, if you in Chicago, yeah, somebody drive you here, $100, shit you back. Yeah, not a bad deal at all. Somebody drove you here $100, or even round trip. And remember, people, what people realize is the Mall of America, and we don't have tax on clothes here. So people from other states, they set up weekend trips to drive here on a bus, and they shop. As I said before, the Mall of America daily has 35 to 40,000 people every day. If you ever want to be around 30, 40,000, all the time, it has that many people there. On the weekend, it's 100,000 to 150,000 people. And if you don't know what that's like, 100,000 people moving around is interesting. And around like Black Friday, used to be like close to 200,000 to 300,000 people. I mean, it used to be to get in there, you'd be stuck on the highway. Because I tried to tell my brother one time, I said, look, if you're going out there, not go out there in this time. Say, if you want to go out there at 9 in the morning, get there early. Because if you try to go 11 to 12, you're going to be sitting on the highway. And sure enough, that's what he did one time. The weekends, on those Black Fridays, and it's interesting, 200,000 to 300,000 people just mingling around. Restaurant packed. It's packed. And this place is giant size. And it's packed with people. And that's a hell of a phenomenon, because you're technically around a city of people moving around. Don't nobody live in the city. Understand? When you're around 100,000 plus people, it's a city, but ain't nobody living, Ain't nobody trying to live. It's everybody just shopping. It's a city of just consumers. If you understand that phenomenon, turn into a city of consumers. Consumers and people that serve the public. Service jobs. I know I gotta get up. Let me see. Yeah, almost 3 hours. So I'm doing pretty good. I want to thank this Super Slice gear. Brother Nick gave it to me, and that. What are we doing? What are we? So this is gear. The hat comes from Brother Nick. And we always check with Nick before we go. What's up, Brother Nick?
Me and Bubba trying to rescue some kittens.
So Brother Nick is always know who you got winning now. Well, you guys know I got winning. I've always said the Lakers. I haven't really got back from Lakers. The Lakers, I still got the Lakers winning it all. I think I'm going to have to miss the game tomorrow, though, y'all. I think Mother's Day, I'm going. Oh, no, we're going to the movie early. I'm finally going to see Guardians of the Galaxies. It's like the week it came out, my mother said she wanted to see it for Mother's Day. We were going to see it Thursday because, the movie came out Thursday night. You want to go to the movies, premieres Thursday nights generally. So that Thursday night, we had planned to go see it. Then my mother, like Tuesday, Wednesday, was like, well, I like to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. So, we didn't go see it because we normally go to movies every week. So we put it off for Mother's Day. So we're going to see that. Yeah, I got to steal the Lakers. Now I think they're pushing this thing for LeBron. Again, the knock on Denver is ABA teams have not won it. One. So is this the year they break through? I don't know. Now I said, lining up everything, you got to look at what year they're lining up everything with. Now if we're going so if we go Boston Lakers, that's what they want. If we go Sixers Lakers again, That's historical. That goes back to 83. What kind of food? Target Center? Or you mean Target Field? Target Field's the only one open. Um, like the way Target Field is set up, because Target Center's got everything. Like that picture I showed, like when you go to Target Center to see the basketball games, to see the Wolves play, man, if you sit on the floor, you get gourmet food. You're gonna pay for it. It's gourmet food. It's top. When you go to Target Center, you sit on the floor, you get them tags, first floor, you get to go, like I was showing in the picture, it's an exit where the teams come out. There's food back in there. These is gourmet. These is the best restaurants in Minneapolis. That's in the Target Center. But now Target Field, again, like I've said this before. My favorite place to sit there is to sit right behind the cameraman, the home plate cameraman. You sit on the second level, and right behind you is a bar. It's a big bar, so all the drinks and then all the food and stuff is there. So it's different. Like, okay, where the bar is, it's other ones if your seats connected, where your seats are connected where you can eat. So it's like a bar, but it's all where you can eat food from. If that makes sense. Like that seat by the plate is just a bar where you get drinks. But other part where you can connect on that second level is places where you could order food, if that makes sense. It's a lot of different kind of food. As I said, Wednesdays used to be, I think it was dollar beers and dollar hot dogs. If you go Wednesday afternoon, that used to be my favorite thing. So, but yeah, Target Field's got a lot of good different type of foods too. They got where, but I was talking yesterday where you get I ain't got baseball hats, but you get the plastic helmet and they put the nachos in the helmet and shit. They put the fries in the helmet with all the cheese and shit on it. So that stuff, they got that. But the nachos in the helmet, I mean, they give you that big plastic helmet and you get it filled with nachos. So that's good food. It's good food there. I can go down there to see if I can get the I wonder where my damn my hat I had on earlier today. I don't know what I did with it, but my other soda hat, new style. But yeah, they got good food at Tiger Field too. They got good food at Target Food. There's good food here. It really is. There's really good food here. I try to write down some restaurants, but there's such good food here. It's like everything. There's Vietnamese, which is more Hmong. There's traditional Chinese, but there's Vietnamese, Hmong like food. There's Somalian food. Um, everything you think of. Kosher restaurants. It's everything you think of. All type of Mexican, all type of Italian, sushi. They've got sushi out to Mall of America. They've got a sushi place out there over by where Long John Silver. This place is fairly new. But Mall of America got great places to eat. I mean, if you stay in a room there, you could go to different places every day. So they put ice cream in them helmets too. I got to hit a ball this year. Yeah. Oh, they'll put ice cream in too. I mean, yeah. Baseball. I love baseball. I love live baseball. I'm saying the Saints games is so laid back. It's just so laid back, and it's not as to go see Tiger Field, you got to park around, then you got to walk to the field. I mean, but like to go to the Saints, you can park on the street, and you can get it's in and out because again, it only holds maybe 8,000 people, so it's not a great big place, but it's cool. So it's really cool because you can park around the stadium, and it's almost like old time baseball used to be, where you can park around the stadium, that kind of deal. So that's what I like about going to see the Saints play. But so yeah, I'm gonna see a couple of games, and then I'm definitely gonna get some Viking games. I got to treat my. He's treated me for the last 2-3 seasons, so we're gonna treat him Page this year. Take him. Yeah. I'm married in November. We're not going honeymoon right off. We might go to a game right after we get married because we're getting married Saturday. I wonder if it's a home game that next day. How that be a help a hustle next day? Because we're taking off. We're taking off the next day. I'll say where I'm going, but we're taking off the next day. We're not taking off, for a minute. So getting married and just gonna chill. So that's what we'll do that Sunday is go see a game if the Vikings are out in November, and then the playoffs. So that's what we might do the next day. So yeah, because that's around the corner. Because I think tonight was the XFL championship, which I missed, and then tomorrow is USFL. So I didn't know if the XFL was going, so I missed that. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm right at 3 hours. I think I'm gonna cut it right at 3 hours. I thank y'all for coming. OTF Lakers versus 87 rematch. Yeah, could be. 87 rematch. Yeah, I was thinking 3-2. Like if it was Lakers Sixers, that would be 83 match. I think they would let the Sixers go through. Be looked at as Dr. J and Moses Malone, Harding, and the big fella. Now, I said before, if they let Denver go through, the only way Denver would win, the only way Denver can win the championship is as follows. If Denver beats the Lakers and Denver plays the Sixers, Denver will beat the Sixers. Because it's going to go back to like what Michael Jordan did in Utah and Karl Malone. That one year they gave MVP to Karl Malone, but Michael Jordan got the championship and the MVP. So I would see that's the only way. Because so if we see Denver against the 76ers, Denver can win. We see Denver against Boston, Denver's not going to win against Boston. No way they're going to let the ABA team beat a historical team like that. Remember, San Antonio first beat was the Pistons, wasn't it? Team didn't really have a great tradition other than 3 championships. So yeah, Denver will never couldn't beat the Sixers or beat Boston. So, but I think LeBron's gonna win it all. That's what it looks like. He had the easiest route. That's what everybody was saying. Charles Barkley, I put that out a week ago. Charles Barkley said everybody knows the Lakers is gonna be in the finals. That's what Charles Barkley said. Karl Malone should be behind bars. Ooh.
Hell no. What in the hell?
No, I agree with you. Yeah, Charles. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah. How do you get out? Like I told this story of Robert Wiley. Robert Wiley was a high school All-American. Robert Wiley signed, Quinn Snyder, that's now the general manager and the coach of Atlanta. Quinn Snyder used to be the coach of Missouri. Robert Wiley was signed as a junior to go to Missouri. He's 6'8", 6'9", 6'8", Ben Harbor High School. Well, Thanksgiving night of his senior year, he has sex with a 13-year-old girl. 13 or 14-year-old girl. And his mother pressed charges. He didn't end up going to the University of Missouri. Lost his scholarship. Another dude, Robbie Rocket. Now this is how dirty they did. Robbie went with the girl all year, and the mother found out Robbie was having sex with her daughter. They went together all year. The mother pressed charges on him. Robbie was only a year or two older than the daughter. And Robbie had to spend Robbie got a scholarship to go to University of Iowa. Robbie had to spend like 90 days this summer in jail, county jail, for a charge on an all-year girlfriend. So that's how dirty they'll do you. That's how dirty you. Coming out of the West, I think so. But yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hell no, Karl Malone. Yeah, Karl Malone definitely was, that's dicey there. That Karl Malone is dicey. Very dicey with Karl Malone. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I do think the Lakers coming out. So I think that's it. I'm gonna give you some things to think about, and I'm gonna move on.
It's cool enough, just ain't cool. like I am, chilling. You don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand.
Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand. My eye. Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand. My eye. Plus, I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it. I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
Yes, he destroyed like boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Joe V. He looked down, seen him. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking the bitch in the head.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. And about a philosopher? Yes. A philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think you're a philosopher? Yes. I think you're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. You're a philosopher? Yes.
Electric. Electric. Spanking our baby. You have to stop and think. What does that mean to me?
Be satisfied. Be satisfied. Y'all not gonna be satisfied. Be satisfied. Y'all not gonna be satisfied.
What the hell you want here, huh?
What's going on in there?
A lot of bullshit. I know that much.
This is bullshit, my friend.
You know something?
Don't listen to me.
What do you know?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. What I say is they got business negotiating. We'll be going back in with a bullet for everybody in the yard.
Is that right?
We do it now, we do it later. Later ain't no use. Am I right, Hal?
Wait a minute, Frank. A lot of angry guys in there. Black Muslims, Panthers, young lords.
That's what me and this nigga do. We pick something and then we rap about it. Yo, baby, I got all the dope.
Lines still open. Your lines are still open. Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
It all breaks down. Oh! I ain't put on the back.
And the fans, they're there for entertainment. And the fans, they're there for entertainment. And the fans, they're there for entertainment.
trying to in my show. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who that? Who that? Who that? Trying to get up in my
drinking shit.
Do a little
Smoking and shit.
Who that? Huh? Trying to in my
Shopping and shit. Drinking shit. Do a little smoking and shit. Legendary in this motherfucker. I'm legendary in this motherfucker. Hey, homie, what happened to Yayo? I stopped playing games and I mastered. We give the signal of love. What'd he say? He's still, what'd you say? Remember that movie Against the Wall? Like, I remember that movie Against the Wall. Yeah, that's shit I took from that's Uncle Sam's curse. What was their names? My trip. Why can't I remember the names? This shit comes from the people that make Black Superman. Damn, I got here it goes. Not in that one. Maybe in this one. There it is. Oh yeah, above the law. Above the law. That comes from above the law. Shit, where are they at? That comes from above the law. Yeah, that's above the law. Yeah, that's my group there. I'm bumping that shit. That shit was out back in the 90s. That shit. And what I think, and I don't know, this is what I think. I think, I think Corey Holcomb Studio, whatever that's called, Academy, I think that above the law dude is one of them dudes who Corey Holcomb has a studio. And I think Craig Faxon, when you use that studio, that dude is, I think, they say his name. He goes 1A7. The Black Superman. Yeah, that's my shit. I'm a real Black Superman. I'm my mama's real Black Superman. That's my shit. You know when they say you gotta have your theme music, that's one of my theme musics. What does he say? I hit the loose juice as I go with the deuce. Wow, we should hear some of it. Should hear some of it. Yeah, 1A7. I think the 1A7 dude is the owner of whatever academy Corey Holcomb is. Them dudes from 1A7 connected to Corey Holcomb where he films it. I'm positive. He says the dude's names, and it's their names. It's names. Because the one dude's name is Hank, I think, or something like that. The 1A7 dude, his real name. And Laidlow, one of them, this is above the law dude. So I think that whatever Corey Holcomb shoots from, I think they're the 1A7 dudes. Yeah. Because their first song is with Tupac. Like their first nationally top, the first time, I think even before the movie Nothing But Trouble. And but the first time I think Tupac on is Tupac on with them. And you can't hardly find that video. You look up Above the Law Tupac. That video ain't really out there. I found it in an article. I don't know if I say the article, but look up the song. I think Tupac's people fighting him. That shit, it was in the song. I can't find it anymore. So, yeah. Yeah, you know, said the best time of music, best history of music is definitely 79. I mean, so much good music came out in 79 that has stood the test of time. You know, people think, you know, it wasn't just like if you even building up rappers delight, you understand the song that set the tone for rap music was Good Times by Chic. Because that was the universal rap beat for 78, 79. I would say, yeah, 78, 79, 80, one. All the songs that used that Good Times beat, that was early rap. Was everybody used, the double dutch bus ain't nothing but Good Times beat. Queen, another one, Dice the Bus, ain't nothing but the Good Times beat. Doom, 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 doom. Now, what, and remember, the first rap song was King the Third. That's why when they say a rap is 50 years old, 50 years old from 1977, I don't count Kirk and them stuff. That don't count. On a national scale, it did not exist in 77. You want to go from 77 till now? Okay, but them Hark and them little black parties, everybody was doing black parties. All right, that ain't just a New York phenomenon. Everybody was doing black parties. Everyone was two turntables and stuff. We didn't have two turntables from scratch. We had two turntables to go parties. Understand? You got the realistic, mixer. That was before. They were selling it before rap became popular. You could get a mixer for from Radio Shack, a realistic mixer. You dig? And get the two turntables. So, my cousins was parties. So, that's Willie Hutch's son. Yeah, Hutch. Big Hutch. Yep. Big Hutch. One of them that does that Corey Holcomb thing. Yep. Hutch. Exactly. Him and Laylo, I think was part of, I think it's Big Hutch and Laylo. I think that's the other dude's name. Her nickname is Laylo. But they connected to that Corey Holcomb where Corey Holcomb. Oh, and I told y'all tonight, I got to look at the numbers. I'm going to try to look up the numbers to see how Corey Holcomb did at the O Theater tonight. It was Corey Holcomb, Bill Bellamy, Tony Ray, and some different new people. For $140, $150 to sit in the balcony, almost $200 to sit on the floor. Now, I think Corey Holcomb is great. And if the tickets would have been 60, 80, we would have went. But to spend 300, to spend 400 to sit on the floor, I can't afford it. Yes. But would I feel like I'm getting value for my money? I mean, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm going to see the Vikings play. Not none of these. Corey Holcomb is a YouTube dude. Bellamy is, has been a comedian. Tony Ray, a BET comedian. To spend Viking money, Target money, I just couldn't see doing it. And I can afford it. It's not that I can't afford it, but I didn't feel like I would get value. Like when Cat Williams came to Minneapolis about a month ago, in the hood. It's right on Broadway. It's a theater. That's where Cat. Now it's in the hood. Smaller theater. That's what Cat did. I don't think they could have sold out the Target Center. I don't think so. Target Center hold damn 20,000 people. Orpheum is a lot smaller, but damn, I mean, I can afford it. It ain't like I can't afford it, but it's just I didn't see value. Because the minute I heard about it on this show, I was like, hey, go see him. But then the prices, I'm like, no value to me to go see them. Yeah, Laylaw, Big Hutch, Code 187, KMG, Above the Law, Laylaw. Yeah, Laylaw is that dude. He is part of Corey Holcomb mentions Laylaw. Corey Holcomb mentions him. And Hutch, he said something about Big Hutch, too. Laylaw is got something to do with Corey Holcomb's that studio. I think Craig Fax used that studio. I don't know for sure, but I think they do. I think I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go ravish my fiance. I don't have a bedroom. And I'm sure she wouldn't mind being woke up and ravished, woke up ravished. I don't get like if like nothing worked on me, I would just put my head between my little lady's just legs and be like going to it. Nothing else worked. If just my jaws and my tongue worked, as long as it worked, I'll be satisfied. Me next to a big pair of boobs and between some legs, and I'm cool with a woman. These dudes talking about, you can't, no, you can do all that. Just lay on your booty, just let me lay on your booty. Your booty, whatever. Not butt crack, though. Not into that. Some younger cats, that all thing, that is not my thing. The only thing that's from is from the back. And I'm not like Corey Holcomb. And what does Corey Holcomb do?
Damn what?
No, he doesn't do that. Is that Corey Holcomb?
I ain't pushing around.
That's Corey Holcomb. Here's Corey Holcomb.
I ain't pushing around the back. And what about it?
See, he bragged about it. What, Corey Holcomb? What do you do, Corey Holcomb?
I ain't pushing around the back. What about it?
I have no opinion. It's not my thing, but I think that's Corey Holcomb's thing, so. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely ravish her. I think she sleeps downstairs. Ravish her downstairs. My daughter's here, So, it ain't so dead in my house, Oh, I'll tell you though, this is a story. That's Dead Bedroom. This is a story, and I told this story a little bit. I work with these European cats when I quit playing football and I started working for the water department. You get to know these motherfuckers, and they get to tell stories. And I've told the story before how all the men was, I bought the first really animated doll, and I mean animated. The doll would as I told the story before, if you were waterbeds, you had waterbeds that had thicker. The California Queens had a little bit of padding. They weren't just a bladder, it was padding and the bladder. And I had a doll. And, I told the story about the doll, where these men was having sex with this weird doll. The doll, you could make it give you head because it had like a water pump to the mouth and a water pump in the coochie. But I worked with this one dude. This one dude said the only time, he would have been married 10 or 11 years. He said the only time he had sex with his wife was when get her pregnant for his children. And at this point, his children was 10 or 11 years old. He said the only time he had sex with his wife was 10 or 11 years ago to get pregnant. Now, that's crazy. And that's why they were having sex with my doll. Because these men were having sex with their wives. So I could continue because these dudes was, I had pimped the doll out. I had pimped the doll out. These people was having sex with this doll like it was real. I mean, I would give, I would take a couple keys to work and it was $25. And they was tearing this doll up, y'all. The doll was called Dolly. They would walk up to it, but whisper in my ear, and I'd give them the key and give me the money. And I just had to clean it up. It was it had and it's just the weirdest, you just buy weird shit. It's in the back of some weird little book I sent in for it. Just damn, how did they make it like that? And sure enough, it came, and it wasn't the kind that flowed. I mean, it had some girth to it. It was it had a little fake wig and everything, but it had pumps, went to the mouth. So when you stuck it in the mouth, there was water in there. And it had a pump in the coochie. It was like fish pump, the motors. So you hooked it up and the water circulated inside the dummy. I guess it went back and forth from the coochie to the mouth. Because it was, it wasn't water all on the bed. The water circulated like this. And for months, these dudes was literally having sex with this doll. Literally having sex with this doll. And one of my buddies, he bit the thing, and I can never find another one. He bit one of my buddies that had girls. He was in his 20s. And I don't remember what he was doing in my apartment, but he broke it. That's what killed it. But these dudes was mad. I was making easily, because again, I was going to work from 7 to 4. So, it was nobody in my house from 7 to 4. So, and I worked on the weekend. When I worked 12-hour shifts, I worked 7 to 7. So nobody in my house. Yeah, that was before my girl moved in. Yeah, she was staying on campus then. So my first wife was still staying on campus. It was just my apartment by myself. When I was working 7 to 7, it was nobody there, but that dial was in one of the rooms. And I only had a 2-bedroom. The other room had the dial in it. And dudes would ask for the key, you know, and I was always somebody giving me $50, $25. There was somebody always giving me money. It was so funny. It was so funny. I was kind of mad at my friend because I'd never find another one too. I never found another one, but that that was the story of Dolly. But that goes to show you, dudes were that desperate, back then. But I dudes like the dude I work with. He said the same thing. He said his daughter was grown. Yeah, I forgot about this. Old Tuck in his 50s. He was like 25 years older than me. He was like in his 50s, older than my mom. So old Tuck. He was the Klan dude I used to work with. And old Tucker said, yeah, he said he hadn't had sex with his wife in like 7, 8 years. Yeah. And it's funny, we would go out to eat. It was like I would hook them up with sisters that like weird mugs. Give them, their sisters would charge them, but I hooked old Tuck up with this one chick, and all he can really do is put his finger in her. That was the most courage he could do. Is like I set him up with this one chick, and all he could really do to her, he put his finger in her, and I think he said he came doing that or some shit. I thought about that. Yeah, Tuck. I hooked up Tuck with a couple girls. Yeah, and the one girl he said that, and he was like, what's funny is we went to work and he's like, yeah, I put my finger up in that thing, and I'm like, the girl done told me what he did. He didn't, it was like nothing. And he's bragging, like, yeah, I'm touching her. And he done told me, he's like, man, that man touched my coochie, and I think he squirted up when he touched my coochie. So but he's telling the story like it was like really, I had my finger in that thing. This is what this hillbilly is talking. I'm like, hillbilly, she done told me, in my head, I'm thinking, she done told me what happened. Oh, none of that happened. So I was just laughing at him. Hearing him tell the story, like, Buck, he wasn't doing nothing. But I mean, that's been going on for a long time. Dudes ain't been with chicks. So, yeah. I'll say my own experiences was when my daughter's mother had my daughter. So you have to wait almost 2 months. Then she had gallbladder surgery. She had gallbladder surgery, and she was sick for another month. So that was up to 3, 4 months. That's probably the longest was, after she had my daughter, she was sick for that time. So that was pretty long as I was when she had my daughter. Took her a minute because like not long after she had my daughter, she had her gallbladder had to be taken out. So that was probably the longest I went. Was when my daughter was born 10, 11 years ago. But I'll say this, and this is all the players. Where's the players out there? I gotta say for the players. Here we go.
Bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches?
Nah, I would have forgot what I was about to say. Oh, what was I going to say? I sure forgot. I don't know. I had some shit I don't say. I don't forgot that quick. Messing with this thing made me forget. But if you have somebody, hold her hand, admire her walking, kiss her, touch her, him, her, whatever you love, appreciate each other, you know, because it's a lot of people that's lonely. And I'll say this, you know, don't settle because I'll say this before my fiance, I wouldn't settle for hags. Hags was coming at me all the time, and I just wouldn't settle for being with a hag. And it was like constantly hag liking me, and I couldn't mix my energy with a hag. You know, the pimping and you know take advantage, but it's like I'm like still that's still a hag. So you know, if I'm gonna lay down with a hag, you know, shit, she turn shit to rocks at night. I don't know. So you know, I was able to really like just sift through the hagless period. Cause damn, I'd rather be alone than have to deal with a hag. And you guys want me to show you pictures of hags? I could. You know what a hag looks like. So that's another thing. It's like I'd rather go out than be with a hag. You know, you got to put the bag over their head. Like, hey, you know, you might be okay with that bag over your head, but the bag has to come off. So I don't know. I'll go without than being with a hag. But you know, it's nothing like having someone. What you say? Light the cigarette that she smokes. Help her with a coat. Treat her like a lady. And that's it. You know, that's it. I love sisters. Can't resist her. There's nothing like a sister. You can't resist her. So, love the one you're with. Remember, ladies, man, he's like, you know, he said all this beautiful stuff. He's like, yeah, all the beautiful loves out there. You know, look at the other one in the eye. Tell them how much you love them. And then he ended with, and remember to do it in the butt. You remember he said that at ladies, man. And then he got fired. Or pull a Corey Holcomb.
I ain't pushing right back. And what about it?
Corey Holcomb. He could have ended the show like that. What if I did the show like that? Hey, everybody, remember this.
I ain't pushing right back. And what about it?
Why would I want to end the show with Corey Holcomb? No. I want to end the show with me. I think the KRS one is mostly the best one. So I'm in the show with that. Thanking everybody for coming. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, Sunday night. I'll say this though. Enjoy feminine energy tomorrow. Celebrate your mother if they still around. Love the women. You know, celebrate the future mothers. You know, because the young women are going to be the future mothers. So make them make them still see. You know that you love them. So celebrate that. Hug and kiss your mama. Hug and kiss your wives. Make your wives feel just as important as your mama. No, don't go overboard on your mom and don't love your wife. Love your wife and love your mom. Your wife is a mother of your children, or she has children. You know, celebrate her too. Don't put all of it on your mama. That's what a lot of cats do. They celebrate their mom and forgets to celebrate their wives, their children's mothers. I want to text all my children's mothers. Remind them that I used to abuse them. Had them all spinning around upside down, wearing pink pumps. All of them wore pink pumps up in the air, legs up in the pink pumps. I told you, pink pumps is my thing. Got 5 different mamas, and at one time, all of them had pink pumps up in the air. That picture of that big 3 girl, she had them up in the air. That's why my son always like, oh, you try to talk stuff. I'm like, remember, I had your mama in a compromising position. He's like, damn,
always use that shit, Dad.
So don't talk shit to me, because I abuse mama. Well, I'll end it, y'all. So look for tomorrow. Love the Mother's Day. Hey, Pink Pumps is kept in a special box. I make each go get that very special pair. And when they bring it in, I had to put my hand on it. It's like, I don't know about this pair. I don't know. They put it on, and when I know that moment's right, and they went in Pink Pumps. Pink Pumps is up there. Hey, Crazy Sarge, my man. Thank you. It actually will heat. That thing will heat. But it's just trying to grade something, putting it all together slowly, getting it all together. So, but thank you, Crazy Sarge, for joining. I appreciate it. But yeah, fireplace is fun, man. It's just to get some color up in here. Got Starface. And this is magic right here. This is, you don't understand how magic works. That Billy Carson tries to take credit for, I would think it's bomber work. If you really look at this picture shows you how magic works. And even though the picture is staged, it shows you magic. It shows you two things. It shows you entities are real. Because it takes men to build this entity, which is later a building built on the most sacred ground in the Americas. It's the Chrysler building, I think. And so entity is like I said about driving. The entity, the entity that feeds off driving let everybody kill themselves. So there has to be some entity that kind of saves people. Because if people start killing themselves driving, people don't drive. So the same way we're building this building, these men have no harnesses. I think it's something they said, I think 100,000 men helped build this building and less than 100 died. 80-some story building with no harnesses, I think out of 100,000 people, less than 100 died. Like 1% of the people that built this building. So this is magic. I mean, look how confident. Do you think these people fear being up here, even though this is staged? They did this every day. That's what gave me the idea to stage this picture. This guy right here is holding a bottle of liquor. He's holding a bottle of liquor up there. I would have needed the courage. But again, to be built, this entity could not let all these people die, or people wouldn't build it. So this is simple magic. This is a simple reminder of what magic is. That's why I love this picture, because it shows you. It shows you some entities. And so, we're going to be trying to break down more and more of this stuff. Anybody want to do the breakdown occult work? In touch with me. We'll all start breaking it down. So I do got to go. It's going on almost 3 hours and 3 minutes. I got to get up early in the morning. Thank you, Crazy Sarge, for joining. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you. Hope you and your partner are well. You and your family. I hope you and your family. Yeah. You and your family are well. And everybody, the universal symbol of, hey, thank you for coming.